Check. All right. Play a little bit of Bloodborne. Watch a little bit of Kick or Keep till Destiny comes up live. All right. Let's fucking do this, baby. Oh, yes. Let's go.
Why are we pretending that it is not based to desecrate a government building? The American government is a hive of scumbags and psychopaths. And frankly, I think people should be trying to fuck in every part of the government. You should be trying to fuck in the White House. You should be trying to fuck in the Washington Monument. The government hates you, and you should insult them at every turn.
Okay, so you're just like playing that character from Parks and Rec now? It's just like your whole thing?
I don't watch Parks and Rec because I'm not a middle-aged white woman.
Well, you look just like the guy and you act just like the guy.
I know that you watch the show and you have a lot of references to make about it. Again, I am not a middle-aged white woman, and I do not watch Parks and Rec.
You're just like such a.
I know that middle-aged white women love Amy Poehler and
she's so quirky.
And fun. I do not watch the show and I do not understand your.
Pre-watched.
Sure.
Little Steve, get your mods to clean up your chat, by the way.
What chat?
What do you think was worse, Lauren? January 6th or fucking in Congress?
Wait, hold on, like, I have to get this out real quick.
What is happening? What?
When Darius flashed the fucking messages, Xena's number was leaked, and then they just fucking put it in chat. So,
Jesus.
Hey.
Good one, Darius.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to jail, Darius.
Just erase those fucking messages.
Oh no.
In DGG chat as well, by the way.
You're going to jail.
Why
you just doxed your girlfriend to 10,000 people.
Well,
Darius, you're going to jail now.
They're all.
How are you going to defend that?
Nope. We're not gonna grill Darius. We're gonna let him deal with that shit. Lauren.
I'm gonna grill him. That's fucking hilarious. You're going to jail.
Defend him. What the fuck? Vito, relax.
Lauren, what was worse, January 6th or fucking in the Senate building?
I think January 6th was so sad because so many great men went to jail that day.
Okay, good cop out, you fucker.
I'm so glad we killed that bitch Ashley Babbitt. We went. She said, "I'm here to take down the government." And we went. This hero cop, this black cop, came out of nowhere with a fucking machine gun. He said, "Not today, Ashley Babbitt." So that was the best part of January 6th for me.
Actually, that's not really all that cool.
If I could bring Ashley Babbitt back to life and shoot that bitch in the head again, I would do it 100 times. If you lined up Hitler, Pol Pot, and Ashley Babbitt and gave me 3 bullets, I would shoot Ashley Babbitt 3 times.
I want to piss myself.
You're very funny, everyone.
You're not as funny as Parks and Rec, but you're very funny.
Good job tonight, guys.
Second you told me you watch Parks and Rec,
before this round ends, can you all just give yourselves a pat on the back? I want all 4 of you, 5 of you, 6 of you, however many voices are in the room right now. Yeah, just pat yourselves on the back. Good job, everybody, guys. You guys are doing a great job.
Good work.
Okay?
You know who I want to hear from genuinely, please. This is the person that I think the highest of in this goddamn call. Alexander, could you please come up to the mic? Alexander, could you please come up to the mic? Yeah, you're unmuted. Just mute yourself. I don't want to fucking mute you. You just mute yourself. if it's too loud.
So you want to talk to my you're me man? You can talk about you're me man. Go ahead.
What's that?
You're my you're man. You don't know the floor, but it's like the best.
Alexander.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm well.
Darius, go call your lawyer. Get
No,
off the
stop!
show.
Vito, why do you keep going back to that?
Go call your lawyer.
Vito,
This is
stop!
bad.
Vito, stop! Vito, stop fucking farming. Stop.
Okay, I'm not. I really think you should.
I fucking hate it.
Clearly, and what the fuck will that nigga do? Clearly, Darius is drunk. You think like we should have him in front of the camera right now? I'm just saying. That's what
Get
I would
off
ask
the
you.
internet show and call your fucking lawyer, bro. Like, I'm serious.
You gotta even fucking.
You're trying to win $500. You're about to go to jail, dude. Come on.
This is a mess. Okay, so
What
listen.
a mess.
I hope I win
Alexander, we're gonna sub
$500.
you in for Darius.
That'll pay your
sobers up a
commissary
little
fee.
bit. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Golly. Also, Lycan, clearly I could tell you're heated. Like I could see your veins through your sunglasses. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Relax. You know, you look like my fucking history teacher in grade 8. So you know what I mean? I like that guy.
Joe
too.
Rogan, your history teacher?
You don't look like Joe Rogan. I mean, I'm not talking about the mask. I'm talking about the face. Anyways, my bad, guys. You were talking about something. Please go back. Son.
If I get kicked off because of that fucking bitch, I'll legitimately shoot a shotgun shell.
But nobody's talking. What are you?
What is
Nigga,
wrong?
you're yapping.
I'm yapping.
What was the topic? What were you guys talking about?
I
How
literally have no
Darius
fucking
is going
idea.
to jail and needs to call his lawyer. That's the topic. Darius, get off this
My lawyer's
stupid internet
straight,
game show. There's no. You do not need to be here.
Niggas
Go to
trying
your
any
lawyer.
way to win.
Go
bro.
ahead.
Oh, I understand. I'm sorry. I figured out what's going on. Vito's trying to eliminate the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going on. Okay, okay.
No, I want. You know what? You're right. Stay on the show.
He was caught. Now he doesn't have.
That $500 is gonna buy you a lot of cigarettes in prison.
I know you're starting to get the 300 calorie mark. Let's fucking get it popping, bro. Eat the sandwich, man.
All right.
You don't need to troll. You don't need to troll like you're fucking abstinent, man.
All right.
Nobody gives a fuck. I gotta piss.
I'm
really
praying
bad.
for you, man. I'm praying for you.
Alright, thank you.
Let me grab a chair.
When you get to prison, you stand right in the middle of the cafeteria and tell them, listen, I will suck the dick of any guy here as long as you don't beat me up. Because I think that's the only way you're going to survive. I think that's the only way you're getting out of this.
Well, at least I didn't waste any blood shots or blood vials.
Are you only suck dicks? I feel like you're being a sexist.
I'm being a sexist?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, you dumb bitch. What are you talking about? Of course. You're a woman.
I mean,
The tribal council is going to vote no on your baby, by the way. I've talked to them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you show up, they're gonna be like, "Can you name these 5 wars in order?" And you're gonna fail, and then they're gonna kill your baby.
Yeah, give me really, literally, like, any question.
What year was World War I?
The year you were born. You
Okay, so you don't know, so you failed the tribal council's test.
Wait.
1940.
What year was it?
Hey, there you go. She figured it out.
Spoiler. What the fuck? By the way, we have 1 minute.
I think
so I'm not going to introduce
How did
a
I
fucking
look
new
it up?
topic. Wait, hold on. Lauren, what's your problem with Vito? Why do you dislike him?
I don't dislike Vito. I just think he's like a fat fuck who doesn't say anything serious or anything that contributes.
What am I supposed to say that's serious? There's a guy who's about to go to jail because he's doxing people.
Wait, of all the shit you're saying, it says doxing people is not illegal. Why are we even talking about this? The shit he has to worry about is whatever ongoing criminal case he does or doesn't have with Xena. Doxing people is not a crime.
It's
Doesn't
not
matter.
helpful. I know it's not illegal, but if the judge goes, hey, this guy's kind of an asshole, and here's what he's been doing.
If Darius's case is decided upon whether or not the judge thinks he's an asshole, Darius is already getting electric chair.
It's
It's
gonna
over.
come down to
Okay?
character. You're trying to convince the judge you're a good guy, and he goes, you know what, we're going to let this kid off, we're going to slap him on the wrist. It doesn't help when he goes, oh, by the way, I went on a stream to 10,000 people and doxed my girlfriend. It's not a good vouch of character.
Maybe it is. That's why we are doing the vote for the end of round 4. Good job. Is this like a double limb, or what are we doing here?
I mean, it doesn't need to be a double limb because the next round is going to be the final one with 3 people. Okay, you know what? We could do 3 people final. That's fine.
And here There you go. Good luck on this vote, guys. Bottom one's getting voted off. Important vote here, guys. Good luck.
Yep.
Vote with your hearts. Vote with your souls. Vote with your minds. Good luck.
Don't vote for Darius because he needs to go call his lawyer.
I'm just confused. Why the fuck is doxing not illegal? Like, I mean,
why are phone books not illegal?
This is the man who's wearing a mask because he's so
What do you mean, how does
afraid
that
of
make
the
any sense?
internet.
I can publish a phone book.
Of course, you think doxing should be illegal.
Nothing at bad.
Well,
Is it veto?
no, I mean, doxing being illegal, it's obviously going to be
Dude, don't I love this?
like intuitively it would just be like, yeah, make it illegal, but it's also like just claiming where somebody lives, especially and deriving like what can be publicly.
Vito, no shit. I'll legit kill myself. Vito.
Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself.
Right now if your last 4 bank statements are DoorDash, Costco, or some sort of grocery order of multiple food items.
My last 4 purchases were on the Whatnot app, where you can come by and purchase game consoles for me
I'm not even trolling.
at whatnot.com/VitoCom.
Can you post it? I'll post my bank statement. I'll post my last 4 bank orders.
They're orders of Japanese
All right,
video games.
real quick, let's close out the last round. Listen, okay. Listen, Lycan, I love you. You've done a great job. Made it to the second to last round.
Vote?
We did vote.
I'm sorry. It's the top 3.
Last
The top 3.
bank
Darius,
orders
you're a server mate, okay? The top 3 go on here. I think we just eliminate 1 and we do final 3 for the final round, right? That's what we're doing. Q?
Well, fuck you. Don't like that rule, but all right.
I love you. Be careful, babe.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for coming on, Lycan.
Thanks, folks. Bye.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You have made it to the final round of Kick or Keep. Vito, I know you love the show. Listen.
You know I'm trolling you, man. I love Kick or Keep. It's the best show on Kick. I'm just here to win it, man.
You know, honestly, I'm receiving a lot of shit in fucking DMs right now. I don't think I deserve any of them.
Why? No.
I don't know. Darius, I feel like I'm going through it more than you right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to be a guest host sometime, though. I want to write some questions.
Wait, really? Actually?
Yeah, I'll write some questions.
Okay, shit. Okay, fuck. You're in. Anyways.
All right.
Final round. It's gonna be a fun one. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a fun. This show has already been messy for like fucking past 2.5 hours. It's a basic question. I already asked it. I want to ask it again, right? Should we push more to reduce anonymity online by having people attach their fucking social media profiles with their IDs? Should we do that? Yes or no? Let me start with you, Lauren.
I'm gonna say no. No, people have a right to be online anonymously if that's how the private platform creators make it so that it's possible.
Hold on, wait. People have a right? When you say that, what do you mean by right?
Like, I don't.
It's
a good question. Like, as of right now, we don't have any laws that would make it so that it would be illegal to be online, and we don't have any, like, federal online anonymously.
Okay.
So I guess it's not like we have a constitutional right, so I guess we could start creating laws to make it so that it would be against the law, but I don't think that would be beneficial to anyone to make it so that you can't be anonymous online. I think that would be detrimental in the long run. It would stifle people's ability to speech. I think maybe when I said it was a right, I almost felt like it's a way of expressing yourself, and it could possibly be covered under the First Amendment, that you have different various means of expressing yourself, and that would be one way that the government would be taking away and stifling speech. So, no, yeah, I don't think that people should be required to give up their identity in order to speak.
Well, you're conservative, right, Lauren?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like conservatives are always the ones telling me that I need an ID to use the internet, that there's, did I get disconnected? No, I'm still here. I'm always hearing from them that, we got to protect kids, and we do.
Now he got disconnected.
But I don't feel like I have to give up my
Oh, he's back. Oh,
that's scary.
Vito,
But
go
yeah,
ahead.
you want to protect the kids from the internet. I think that's a lot about parenting. I don't think that
Darius, mute yourself.
we shouldn't stifle other people's ability to speak freely and have the ability to be anonymous in order to have that speech. I think that anonymity should be considered a right. Maybe I said earlier that it was a right. I was incorrect. I think it should be considered a right under the First Amendment.
Well, I'm glad we agree on that. I mean, it is a big problem that there's a lot of people. Look, obviously, people can cause trouble under anonymous identities, but the fact remains that, especially as a function of free speech, people nowadays have controversial opinions and want to be able to talk about them. And we've seen with, you know, I know it's a trite term, but cancel culture, people lose their livelihoods for merely having an opinion. So I don't know how anyone in this era where having the wrong opinion, even if it's a perfectly reasonable, legitimate opinion, people will call you a Nazi, people will say it's hate speech, people will try to take you down and take your job away. So anyone who says that we need less anonymity in this era is probably one of these psychopath weirdos who, again, just wants to know who people are. They want to out people's identities so they can try and destroy their lives. And that's terrifying.
Right, and I think that having if governments were to try to start forcing people to online identify, I think people would argue back that that would be a violation of freedom of expression.
I imagine that's probably the case, but the idea that less anonymity necessarily means that you're like some creepy weirdo or whatever, I feel like there's a very obvious, tangible, intuitive reason why you might want less anonymity for people, which is just people are going to be less fucked up online. There's going to be a lot less problems.
I don't want people to be less fucked up online. I want people to be saying very controversial and dangerous ideas. I want to challenge the status quo rather than keep people locked into a box.
You can
challenge the status quo if you're in an industry and you say the wrong thing about trans people, if you say the wrong thing about who you voted for, you're donezo. Okay?
I don't. Wait, hold on. Is the implication then that there is no controversial public speech ever as long as your face is showing or your name is attached to it?
I'm saying that some people are in a position.
I agree with the idea that cancel culture exists in relationship, all that stuff. But the labeling of anybody who wants less anonymity online is creepy weirdo who just wants to know who people are. That's that's not the case.
No, you're a creepy fucking weirdo. You're a psychopath. Why do you want to know who these people are? What is your intention?
The reason why they
the intention is to get them fired and ruin their lives.
It's that way people actually have consequences for the things that they say.
Consequences. You want them to be fired.
No, it's not about being fired, you fucking moron! Both of you. It's not about being fired. It's about the fact that you're sitting over there posting neo-Nazi memes. Maybe your future girlfriend is gonna look at that.
And why do you have to be exposed for that? Look.
What do you mean? I'm not saying you need to be exposed from that. What I'm saying is that maybe if you're posting some fucking cringe shit, your future partner might look at that and go, I'm not sure. This nigga's posting some weird shit.
Oh, we gotta protect people's future partners. Listen, if
No,
you're
I'm
out
not
there
about
and shut
protecting
the fuck up.
people's
Shut the fuck
future
up.
partners.
You are fucking anti-free speech. You are anti-American.
Yeah, you're anti-American, bro. I'm gonna put the go-go hat on, bro.
Anyone out there who can hear me, we need to protect this right at all costs. Anyone who comes to you and says, I think you should give up your identity, I think it would be for the public good. Everyone is a snake and a liar, and you should disassociate with them at all costs. They will destroy you. Darius is a snake in the grass.
Is looking inside of your toilets. I think there should be more cameras inside bathrooms.
Let's let Lauren jump in, guys. Go ahead.
Okay, irrelevant. Do you see any point to do you think that speech would be stifled if we forced everybody to put their name to all their words?
I don't believe we should force anybody to put their names to the words. I'm just contesting the retarded opinion that there is no reason whatsoever to to reducing online anonymity. It's just a retarded idea that every single person who advocates for less anonymity online is like, do you guys want every single imagine a world like this where none of us show our face, all of us are just fucking VTubers, and we're all just throwing out our political opinions. Nobody has their face out there. and we're just throwing anything to the fucking wall. And
Sounds like a glorious fucking future.
That's fucking retarded. Okay, that's fucking
wonderful.
retarded. If you're gonna debate
Free
with somebody
speech will
that's showing
thrive in the situation you just described. There will be the most free exchange of ideas because no one will fear
entire fucking political panel
for ridiculous repercussions.
Who are too afraid to show their goddamn face because they have consequences. That's fucking retarded. If you're gonna
because we live in a time of psychopaths and morons who want to destroy people for stepping out of line politically.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't be anonymous. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a reason why many people would want less anonymity inside of the public space. I don't want every single person who's speaking about anything controversial to do this. Instead of just going like, hey, I want anonymity I would prefer to fix those problems like cancel culture and actually target those issues, not like, hey, everybody be anonymous. Everybody get a fucking VTuber avatar. Everybody do this. Instead, how about we find ways to fix the pervasive issues of cancel culture than just like, oh, you know what? Nobody ever showed their face ever. I'm sorry, Q, I love you, but I don't want everyone to look like you.
The government is putting ring cameras all around the country. You are going to be monitored at every turn. They will have a facial database of every single person on this fucking planet, and you want to give them additional rights to identify you and lock you away. For a man who's currently facing prison to argue for expanding the right to identify people who just want to live their private lives is fucking insanity. Examine yourself and your life.
Okay, hold on. I gotta help. Hold on one sec. I want to throw my weight a little bit behind Irrelevant here, okay? When Irrelevant is talking about cancel culture, when you guys are talking about cancel culture, everything that you guys are talking about has to do with the culture. You're talking about the government expanding cameras. The government is not causing cancel culture. The government is not locking people up. The government is not doing weird things in regards to freedom of speech. It's other people. And the idea that the solution to trying to get the culture to chill the fuck out a little bit on trying to cancel every single person with a different opinion is to give every single person a mask so that they can infinitely hide their identity and say whatever the fuck they want because we can't handle knowing people who have different opinions of us. I think there's some legitimacy there that needs to be addressed, I would say.
I'm just saying, like, if you were to try to make it so that people couldn't be, the issue isn't whether or not we make anonymity accessible. It is accessible to everyone, and everyone could choose whether or not to be anonymous or not anonymous. The issue isn't whether or not we're forcing people into anonymity. The issue is whether or not we're taking away the rights to be anonymous online. So what I'm asking Irrelevant is, if we did take away the rights to be anonymous online, if we made laws to make it so that you couldn't truly be anonymous online, do you see how that would stifle free speech?
Yeah, obviously. I didn't advocate for that. I just gave a simple point because Vito said no reasonable person would advocate for less anonymity, and I don't believe
no reasonable person would advocate for less anonymity.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I think if somebody created, let's say, like a Twitter clone, where in which you actually had to attach some ID or whatever to it, and it's just a separate site for people, like fucking LinkedIn, as an example, or something like that, I would be like, yeah, that's fucking base. I don't think you should have to. I think you should have.
That's different. That's giving people the option. If you want to give people the option to step out in the public square and say, "Here I am," I have no problem with that.
That is advocating for the internet to have places where
it's not advocacy; it's an option.
Advocacy. How is advocacy not trying to get a site created that's function is to have less anonymity in comparison to an alternative?
Are you saying that site is superior to the alternative, which is a
Nobody's
site that
making a
anonymity?
Superiority claim.
I feel like you.
I thought my shit froze.
Yeah, I thought. I didn't realize you got stun locked.
I was trying to remember the exact phrasing you used prior to that because you did suggest that it was superior in some way.
Well, wait, real quick. It is superior in some way, right? You get to see who's talking shit to you. There's pros and cons to everything. We can't pretend that one side is all pros and one side is all cons. That's fucking retarded. Obviously, there's pros and cons to both sides, right?
I think the point is, in Destiny, obviously I'm not saying that the government is the major proponent of cancel culture. But the point is that when we live in an era where we're clearly losing our anonymity at every turn, what would be the benefit of trying to explore more ways to give up our identities? Or to argue in any way that is preferable? Our identities are being exploited and given away without our permission.
What would the benefit be? We can think of a million benefits, like whether we agree that it's worth the trade-off. For instance, let's say that there's a guy that you work with and you find out that he's on Twitter tweeting about how much he wants to fuck like 4-year-old lolicons or something, right? Like, is that something you would want to know?
Would I want to know who that is? I would leave that up to, again, the government has those mechanisms.
Hold on. No, there's nothing illegal. Wait. There's nothing illegal about talking about wanting to fuck children online.
I think.
Okay, I thought you were suggesting that it was actually going to happen.
No, I'm saying he's tweeting out that he wants to fuck kids. Would you want to know if you were going to hire an employee that was saying that on social media? I want to fuck children. Would you want to know that?
Sure, I would like to.
So there you go. So that's one pro. Now, I'm not saying that outweighs everything else. I'm just saying that obviously there are pros and cons when it comes to anonymity. And I think one of the reasons why people get annoyed by the pro and non-anonymity side is because when you guys walk out these arguments, and by the way, I'm generally pro anonymity. Okay, I would probably be against irrelevant, but sometimes there's a delusion here, like Second Amendment nuts that are like, the reason why I have a gun is because I need to protect myself when somebody breaks my house. Bullshit. You have a gun because they're fun to shoot, you fucking retard. Anything else you say is
saying,
I
want to know the identity of the Zodiac killer. Like, obviously I want to know that.
No, it's not just the identity of the Zodiac killer. It's that when people make the pro-private arguments, they make it sound like everybody is out here like fucking Thomas Jefferson or people writing the Federalist Papers espousing some of the most like cutting-edge political discourse on Twitter, when in reality people just want to call each other faggots all day, and that's why you want anonymity. Nobody seems to be engaging with the argument honestly. They just that's fine. We can say it's a slippery slope. That's fine, maybe, but just acknowledge the pros and cons of both sides and have an honest
why don't we just identify ourselves? Let's all scan our IDs and get a fucking barcode on our hand and implant a fucking microchip. No, I don't want it.
You could just make an alternative site. How is that a slippery slope?
You can make an alternative site. I don't have a problem with that.
What speech is bannable, which speech isn't, and which speech requires, it is a slippery slope. Absolutely.
No, there's nobody advocating for an expansion of speech that's illegal.
Like a very specific example about talking about wanting to have sex with 4-year-olds. It's very like that's a slippery slope. It's just like, okay, yes, that's really gross. I'd like to know that, but then it comes to the next thing that you find deplorable. Maybe it's like, oh, maybe they advocated for January 6th, and it's like, okay, so now it's more politically inclined as well, and so then it starts becoming a slippery slope.
Yeah,
look,
so that's where my advocacy for if you want to post about things like that, you should do that under an anonymous site or anything like that. That's what you should do it for. That's why it should exist. Nobody's saying it shouldn't exist. I'm contending with the retarded point that there is no reason at all to have less anonymity on any site ever. That is ridiculous. That we should all be hyper anonymous. I should have like a fucking paper bag on my face when I go into work, so that way I can say whatever. Like, this is ridiculous.
Look, there's obviously like public situations where yes, you have to identify yourself. Your employer needs to know your social security number and that you're actually the person you claim to be. We're not arguing against that. The point is that anybody who approaches the world of tech and says, "Hey, I've invented a new thing where you identify yourself and you scan in whatever else," everyone should be extremely suspicious of that. That becoming normalized and that becoming the norm of how the internet operates would be terrifying for the future of free speech and free expression.
Wait,
and frankly, people should take a stand against it, because that's what's being advocated for by government. That's government officials, people on all sides are saying, oh, we really need to legislate the internet. We need to identify all these people. Anyone who's talking about that, you should treat like the most suspicious snake in the grass ever. And Darius, you are one of those snakes.
No, okay, I agree with like the governmental legislature stuff. I don't know about so much if you have like a private organization where people want to give their own identity willingly, fine, that's a little bit different. But when the government starts legislating that you can't have a voice on the internet with anonymity, then that's when we should start being concerned.
Also, make sure to vote for the winner of Keep, or of Kick or Keep. Guys, vote to Keep, vote for the winner. I'm putting the poll in chat. Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck.
So, again, if the whole argument was just boiled down to the pros of anonymity overall outweigh the cons, I agree. I love anonymity. That shit is base. Even though I almost never use it, because I literally stand by everything that I fucking say. I agree with the principles of anonymity. What I contended with is a retarded notion that being against anonymity or areas where in which the anonymity shouldn't be as pervasive, like being pro, anti-anonymity, however the fuck you would say that, is like there's a reason. There's so many different reasons why you might.
Hold on. Really? Let me ask you all of these last 2 questions before we conclude this round, right?
Wait, no, wait. The round ended like 2 minutes ago.
No, I know, but let's just ask these 2 questions.
Okay, I mean the votes are rolling in, so go ahead. Good luck.
Let them roll in.
They're rolling.
Number 1, do you think that free speech, and this is directly to you, Vito, do you think that free speech requires anonymity? So do you believe that in public, free speech really doesn't exist like that because when you're in public, you're not behind the fucking, fake whatever character online? 2, do you think the pros of the internet being anonymous outweigh the cons? And do you think that it's better to have like a fucking, anonymous internet versus like a super fucking open internet where everybody knows everything? Go ahead. Let me start with you,
I think free
Vito.
speech can exist in the public square, though it is a much more fraught place for people to operate out of, and they are taking a tremendous risk in doing so. Some people have the ability to take that risk. Some people have, great power. They are secure in their job. They know that they will survive through it. But there are a number of people who are on a precipice. They operate in industries where if they make their opinions known, they can be tossed out on their ass. They could face great social repercussion and be kicked out of their social groups, ostracized, whatever else. And that is why we protect anonymity. That is why the internet has become the greatest arbiter of free speech in the history of humanity. Okay? Finally, we have a true public square where we can hear what people are actually saying. Because for the longest time, we've been lying to each other, and there have been half-truths, and we have not known the true nature of humanity. And we have finally emerged into an era where people can truly speak their minds. It is the most glorious, beautiful thing, and it is advancing the human animal well more than any other era in time. Does it come with certain drawbacks? Yes, there are Nazis and psychopaths and weirdos. But
Senator Vito, wrap it up.
Is it not beneficial to see those people and know that they exist and know the true state of this country and know the true state of the world? To know that evil exists and bad people exist and they're out there and you can identify them. I think that has value.
Okay, Darius, aka Relly, please give us your, answer.
I'm sorry, go over the 2 questions again.
Yeah, wait, okay.
Because that took a second. So.
Okay, number 1. Yep. Do you think... Wait, hold on. Which one was 1 or 2? Fuck. Okay, number 1. Do you think that the fucking pros of having a super anonymous internet outweigh the cons? And do you think it's better than the shit that we have right now? So do you think the internet would improve drastically if everybody knew everything? And number 2 is, do you think that free speech currently is like super weak in public outside of the internet because you're not hiding behind some fucking digital whatever fucking fake character that you created?
I think both are going through trouble because of well, one of the great things about public speech is that it doesn't free you from the consequences of that speech. However, I would say that the consequences that are being brought on people for the public speech is kind of just like lame. We're really, really not well sophisticated for how we deliver the consequences of people's public speech. It's very asymmetrical. It's for bullshit reasons. The court of public opinion is not very fair. So, in principle, great shit, but in its execution, falling a bit poor when it comes to the social accountability part of it in a lot of different areas. So when we're talking about the public, IRL free speech and stuff, I think you can do it. Again, it's not in a healthy place for it and stuff, but I think you can do it. We've seen some people say some wacko shit, especially with the recent Israel-Palestine situation. We've seen some people say some crazy shit and just be like, I can't touch that. There's nothing I can do. Or they're like, you're a demon for saying whatever. And it's just very asymmetrical. As for the online bit of it...
Really? Wrap it up. Yeah,
sorry,
when do I close this vote? This vote is super close.
Okay.
All right,
sorry.
this is your shit.
I would much rather a completely anonymous everybody VTuber avatar whatever online anonymity than everybody be exposed publicly.
All right, there we go. Lauren, close it out. What's your thoughts?
No, I'm done. Thanks for having me. This was a great time.
Nice. All right, Q, you need to tell me when to close the polls. Tell me when it's over. Wait. Hold on.
Close
Edit.
now.
Wait. Is your name Q?
Now.
What?
Wait. Hold on.
Wait, Lauren, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up. You say you don't have anything else to say. Close it now. Right now. Fucking shut it off.
Okay.
Shut it off.
Boom.
Shut. Oh, shit.
All right. It's closed.
I don't know who won.
Fucking retarded.
Jesus.
Retarded.
Okay, I really think that three-way voting is bad. Darius wins by 5 votes, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Fucking hell! Congratulations, Darius.
I feel like you're. I feel like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. Congratulations, Darius. Good job, Darius.
Wait. Hold on. Listen, what's wrong? What happened?
Well, like, imagine if you're fighting on the same side, and you're like, let's say people agreed with Lauren and Vito's arguments. Their votes got split between 2 people, and let's say people agreed with Darius's arguments over here. Their vote went to one person. I'm just saying. Sucks for Vito.
Yeah, but they could, sure, they could present the same side in a different table, and Vito had a lot to say.
Wait, all right, hold on. I will obey by the...
I was thinking, I was like, fuck it, dude, I don't care, I'm going in.
We need a runoff.
I mean, okay, hold on. Stop. You know what?
Shout yourself out. Wait, let Lauren shout herself out. She's leaving.
No, listen. No, you wanted to do this, right? We're going to delay the eating a little bit right now. Since you said you don't like the 3-way, I'm the commissioner. Let's do one more round, 5 minutes.
No, Darius, you won. Congratulations, okay? I'm giving you 100 subs.
Oh, hey, I like this idea.
Wait, hold on. Let's see.
Runoff.
How many subs did he just say, by the way?
100.
Oh, I thought you said 800.
Why are you finessing people?
5. That's a statistical error. I demand a recount.
No, stop. Listen, you brought up an issue. I'm fixing it right now. Runoff, bro. 5 minutes. We're not even going to present anything. We'll let them clash. Why don't you want to do it? Like you presented the problem.
Stop the count.
5 votes is a statistical error. Do a runoff.
Bro, I lost by 1 vote. If I get a recount on 5 votes, I kill myself. I lost by 1 vote, Steve.
Yeah, people are saying. Hold on. People got irrelevant got fucked over last time, so I mean, like.
1 vote.
He did.
But you're the one who brought up the issues.
I'm just saying. I just like to complain and present no solutions. Listen, Lauren, shout yourself out. Go. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram. I'm starting a legal series January 1st. Lauren, DELAGUNA, Daily Buddha.
Thank you. Vito, where can they find you?
Guys, I'm on Kick at kick.com/VitoComedy. But I must tell you, we got a great podcast. That's not going to work. Go to YouTube. Look, this is my plug, please. You have your browser open. It'll take you 2 seconds. YouTube.com/biggestproblem. We got the best comedy podcast you're ever going to hear. Me and Dick Masterson, we have a great time. Right now, youtube.com, biggest problem. You know I was robbed. Give me a sub on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. And again, kick.com/VitoComedy. Darius, you got a commissary fund. Don't spend it all on ramen noodles. And excellent. Well played, sir. Well played.
Thank you for coming on. Darius, congratulations.
Good job, Darius.
We'll see. Are you actually going to give it to Darius or to...
Yeah, Darius is the one that entered. He gets the gifted subs. Yes. The fuck?
You're a bitch.
You won the comment on your own account.
I'm not going to lie. Really carried.
That's...
He wasn't even here. He wasn't even here.
Oh, you're getting flipped over a third
congratulations.
time,
You know, you got... owned by the white man. It's called slavery. Here we are. It happens in the modern day. Boom. There we are. Good job. Congratulations, Darius. You got 100 gifted subs. We're all proud of you. Darius, are you streaming? Who's going to be streaming? Who am I hosting?
Wait, are you going to stream?
Yeah, you're 2 seconds. I'm going to take it from you.
Huh? Did I win? Yes. Another victory for the OGs.
Alright, I'm going to start my stream in like...
Oh, shit. Oh, this guy's...
I'm going to start the stream after I help him.
Okay,
so
we'll
like,
host...
If you got to raid somebody else, it's fine.
We'll raid you. We'll host you irrelevant. No problem. Okay. Hey, start the stream before we help Darius. He's still going to be drunk in 5 minutes. Don't worry.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Much love.
You're good. Fire it up. We're waiting. Be careful.
Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes.
Like 1 minute. You got it.
Okay. Don't try to run away from this. Don't try to run away from this. Okay, take care.
Love you.
Yeah.
Peace out. Okay.
Oh my god.
Thoughts on the episode?
Listen, okay? I don't think we can be farming like legal cases, okay? Darius's life could get fucked, alright?
Okay, first of all, I am appalled that you'd even assume that I was the one that's trying to find this. Mind you, there's a lot of guys that I work with. Maybe it's a team effort. I don't know.
okay.
Listen.
Yeah.
Also, okay. First of all, I don't like. I'm getting to this real quick. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
Yeah,
I don't like how we fucking draw these lines about what we can farm, what we can't farm. I've been getting a lot of shit from goddamn DDG, and I let them farm everything. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much open borders over here. So I like to treat everybody else as open borders. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but I mean, at
But
some
I
point,
get
there
it.
are some people that probably aren't even capable of making these decisions, and Darius might be one of them. You know?
I didn't know he was that fucked up. I don't follow anything. I didn't know that they were fucking punching each other. I didn't know that the nigga was super drunk. I had no idea about any of this. By the way, Xena's molding, so could you just...
Listen, I don't touch any of the bands. That's
I might get punched next. I might get punched. Just unban her, bro.
I don't mess with my bands. It's other people. They do it. I don't touch it. I am hands off. Okay.
Okay.
Can't do anything.
She heard that. She heard that.
I can't. I don't have mod privileges in my chat. So.
What? You don't have mod privileges in DGG chat? Why would you just like him like that? Just so you don't want to fucking unban her. Anyways, thoughts on the show in itself, other than farming Darius.
You know, he's a villain.
I saw the message. Clearly, you liked it.
Oh,
no, I'm just saying. Clearly, you thought it was.
People are
you thought it was great.
unhinged. They were unhinged.
Never have that. Usually, people are resident sleeper.
Yeah, sure. There has to be like a middle ground between this level of unhinged and resident. Hey, I drink Leak Shine. Thank you for the gifted sub, dude.
Come on, this fucking guy, bro. You know what? Fuck him. By the way, the only reason that he keeps fucking gifting 50, and by the way, you can calculate this. Every time I'm talking to you, he gifts 50. He's my number one guy, but he never fucking gifts. Fucking piece of shit. Anyways, I know there needs to be a middle ground, but at the same time, I genuinely enjoy letting niggas go. And then when you come in and you're like, please bring the energy down. That's so soy. Stop doing that.
Well, no. Hold on. Wait. It's okay if they go, but if we've gone for like minutes and there are like 4 people talking over each other the whole time, somebody has to mute them. They have to chill a little bit. It's just like at some point it's not fun. Yeah, they were talking over each other. It was like for minutes. It was the same.
Okay, that's fair. Whatever. We're not doing an episode for the next 2 weeks, by the way, because it's Christmas and New Year's, and nobody's gonna fucking show up. People wanna go have fun. You know what I mean?
All right.
So we're not gonna do episodes for those 2 weeks.
Okay.
Also, one more thing.
Yep.
'Cause I smell pussy, and I gotta address this. You know what I mean? I smell some fish in the sea.
Okay.
Aiden, aka Juden, right, was the one who fucking started everything. Like, he's the one who like came at you, but you're not attacking his faith. Most of the niggas that are in that Aiden Loyals community are non-Muslim. Most of the niggas that probably fucking, like the fucking mod with the gun and all those fucking other weirdos, right? Most of them are non-Muslim. Matter of fact, if you go to their fucking Aiden Loyals goddamn page, it's literally a whole bunch of Christians versus a whole bunch of Muslims. It's all like a mess.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't fucking go at their shit. You just fucking decided to hyper-focus on the Muslims when it was a Jew-ass nigga. I don't know, that sounded crazy. Listen, I don't got no problem with Jew. But when it was a Jew-ass nigga who fucking initiated the whole thing, and it was a whole bunch of non-Muslims that were fucking doxing and threatening to kill you, why not keep the same energy to the fucking Jews and to the other fucking Christian weirdos?
Who are the Jews in his community?
The fucking Aiden! The biggest Jew!
Aiden isn't. He doesn't know any. He even knows like bar mitzvah or whatever.
Oh, he did it. He actually spoke about it. He did it.
I don't believe that. I don't think so. That motherfucker barely speaks English. There's no way he learned a second language for this fucking shit. I don't believe it, okay? I don't believe it.
Most of the fucking...
The only thing Jewish about fucking Aiden Ross is his bank account, okay? I do not believe this guy, okay? With an audience full of fucking 10-year-olds, okay? There's no part of this guy that is, like, worshiping the fucking Jewish faith, okay? No, I don't
I'm not saying that he's hardcore, like, tracts or...
He's, like, Jewish in ethnicity, okay? That doesn't even count religiously. What am I supposed to make fun of him for? You have curly hair?
No. I'm just saying you could keep the same fucking energy because he's going to take offense to it, and at the end of the day, that's what you think.
I already made it. No, he doesn't. Because one,
he does.
No, he doesn't. I made a Jewish joke the last time we spoke. I said I think you're a nice guy. I think you're a real human, even though you're Jewish. And I left, and you just said, oh, and he didn't give a fuck. You know why? No. Because online Jewish people don't give a fuck if you make jokes about them. Nobody cares. You guys think they do, but they don't. But as soon as you start making fun of Muslims,
Hold on a second. There is a complete difference between, oh, hey, like, you're not human because you're Jewish. Like the softest fucking this. versus, oh, you're a suicide bomber. Oh, you're displaying of all the fucking stereotypes that you could think of, right?
What? Okay, tell me, what are the Jewish
stereotypes?
stereotypes I need to play off of? Tell me.
You know all the fucking
Tell me a
stereotypes.
couple.
And by the way, okay, hold on. I'll take
You
it.
understand there's a difference between how these people integrate the religion into their life. There's one Jewish state and it's a democracy. There's like fucking 60 Muslim ones and they're all theocracies. The way that you guys run your shit is way fucking different. You can't pretend that it's the same. Most Jewish people don't even fucking give a fuck about their religion. The whole founding of Israel was secular fucking Jews. What am I gonna make fun of fucking Aiden Ross for about Jewish religion shit? Please tell me. Give me a joke. Give me one. Please. Go.
Wait, hold on. Let me understand this first of all before I get into that. You're telling me that you cannot even fucking make Jew jokes because most Jews don't give a fuck. They don't care. You can literally
what do you want me to do? Make a Passover joke? Ask me to ran out of fucking candles for his Hanukkah shit? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Wait, can I call out the hypocrisy? Because the same fucking people that cry discrimination, anti-Semitism, racism, all that fucking garbage. You're telling me those people don't take offense to anything. You're telling me those people are like just
We're not talking.
goddamn
Hold on.
crying
You just
because
ran
they
those
stop.
goalposts. We're not talking, do people
Right.
take offense to anything? We're talking about making jokes. There's a difference between
Okay.
saying like, well, you're a
There's a lot of
suicide.
material.
There's a
Come on.
difference between
You're
saying like,
telling me
there's
there's no
a difference between saying like, oh, you're a Muslim suicide bomber, and then someone else going like, oh, well, I think your entire country should be wiped off the fucking face of the earth. Those are two totally
No
different
one
things.
is telling-
One is a
hold
joke
on,
and one isn't.
Did I
These are two
ever-
different things.
No, hold on. No, first of all, you took it there when you're talking about I think your whole fucking country should be wiped off of the face of the planet. First of all, Aiden Ross is fucking American. Second of all, I didn't tell you to fucking just say let's fucking destroy Israel, even though generally you would probably make the same jokes if it was a Muslim country going through the same shit. You would. Let's not act like you wouldn't.
I would make a
That's
joke for any
number
country.
one.
Okay, wait, real quick on
sure.
one. Who's
So
been
that's one
canceled?
of your-
Who's been canceled for telling Jewish jokes? Has this happened? Ever?
Oh my god, no shot, you fucking idiot.
Can you give me
People
one
have been
example?
canceled over saying the softest shit.
No. Oh, no. Hold on.
Let
Let me rephrase my question. I'm gonna say this question one more time because it's not you to hear me. Has anybody been canceled for telling anti-Jew jokes?
Has anybody been canceled over fucking shitting on Jews community? I'm sure
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Now that's a
I'm sure
different.
there's
That was very tricky. So you said,
Oh.
has anybody been canceled for shitting on Jews? Let me try that one more time. Has anybody been canceled for making Jewish jokes?
I'm sure there's been. I'm sure
Okay,
there's been.
there
I
we
can't
go,
name them
okay.
all.
Gotcha.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Just because I can't. Wait, hold on. How did you get me though? Just because I
Because
can't.
you're
name them?
telling me
Okay.
that this problem is so obvious and so ubiquitous and so transparently horrible in all society, and I ask you for a single person that's happening, you can't think of
Wait,
what?
hold on. No, wait, hold on. Are you trying to claim? Because I need to understand where you're coming from. First of all, what are you trying to claim? That you can't fucking make jokes because there's no material to make jokes on?
Here's what I'm claiming. Here's the issue. The issue is I make jokes against Muslims, and then you come back and you go, oh, well, you'd never make those jokes against Jews because you'll get canceled for it. And then I go, well, one, I don't even know any jokes about Jews I would make. Can you give me an example of somebody getting canceled by Jewish jokes? And then you go, what about all these people promoting Holocaust denial books?
Okay,
These
hold
aren't
on,
jokes.
hold on.
What are you talking about?
Hold on. So to you, you're drawing the differentiation between, oh, these are obviously perceived as jokes versus, no, this is just obviously anti-Semitic. Who the fuck made you the arbiter of which is which? Because to you, your jokes could be just seen as
Who made me the arbiter of which is which?
anti-Islam.
It is anti-Islam.
Okay, so when you're anti-Jew, you get fucked, and you know you get fucked.
No, when you're anti,
Yes, you do.
when you're
Go ask Mel fucking Gibson. How about that? Go ask all the fucking
okay,
people that.
okay,
Go
hold on.
ask Kyrie
Let me
Irving,
explain the
who
trick.
literally just
There you
tweeted
go.
a fucking book
That's
fucking
great.
the Amazon-
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You
sorry.
won my whole argument for me. Thank you. Okay.
Tell me how.
You're saying, if you can't be anti-Jew, then you shouldn't be anti-Islamic. Anti-Islamic and making fun of a religion is different than being anti-Jew and making fun of the ethnicity. There is no. If I was being
Calling people
anti-Arabic,
suicide bombers?
when you suicide bomber, yeah, I know a lot of brown people that aren't Muslim, dog. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's not the fucking nature of the joke that you said, though.
What is the name?
That's
Hold on,
not it.
hold on. I'm sorry.
not
Do brown people suicide bomb, or is it Islamic
hold on.
jihadists? What is the
Hold on,
suicide?
hold
No,
on.
no.
Yes,
Tell me,
yes.
Q. Where does the suicide bomb joke come from? What is the joke?
Now you're just trying to blur the.
I'm not blurring the
because
line.
when
No.
you said that-
Hold
yes,
on.
You are.
To be clear, my line is
How
super
did you mean
clear.
it then? You tell me. Okay,
What?
you tell me. How did you mean it? You tell me.
I can
How
tell you
did
the
mean
line
it
is
when you made
very
that joke?
clear. Islamic radical extremists are known for strapping on vests and blowing themselves up. It's kind of your thing. Like 90% of the world's
No,
suicide
no,
bombings
but-
come from fucking radical
No.
jihadists.
Stop. Nobody fucking goes around, right? Because Most school shooters happen to be white males. Nobody goes around and fucking finds every single fucking white male and says, you're a fucking school shooter. Nobody fucking goes around to the fucking
never
car and
heard
say,
somebody make
"That
school
IRA rape, son of a bitch."
Bro,
Nobody
I'm
goes
pretty
around
sure-
to the Japanese and tells them you fucking rapist, goddamn genociding fucks. Nobody does that shit. You know they don't. All these people.
Hold
that
on,
are
I just want to hear that
fucking
one more
helpful,
time.
that some other nigga
Repeat
did.
that.
Go ahead.
Repeat that for me one more time. Say that one more time. Say, nobody tells white people, ha ha ha, you look like a school shooter. Let me hear that one more time. I want to hear you say that one more time.
Stop.
Nobody makes that joke. I want to
Yeah.
hear that one more time, please.
To the degree that a Muslim person receives a fucking suicide bomb joke, it is not even remotely close. Nobody
Oh,
fucking
the
looks at
degree.
a white person.
Wait,
Hold on,
how
let
many
me-
how many white people are school shooters, Q? What is like 20?
How many Muslims are suicide bombers? Are you retarded?
I'm just saying, you said to the degree.
Okay.
How
Okay,
many
but I-
how many
let me-
white
okay,
school
okay.
shooters are there?
Okay, let
Actually,
me
you know what?
explain.
If you want to get super technical about it, depending on what you consider a school
There's
shooting,
probably more
there's a
school
higher per
shooters than
capita
fucking-
there's a
no,
higher
no,
per
there's
capita
probably
black
more
school shooters than
fucking
white school
suicide
shooters.
bombers, by the way. No. There's probably more school shooters that are white than suicide bombers that are Muslim. I'm very comfortable making that claim, first of all. Second of all,
Really, and
I'll give
all
you
the
another
world full of white people, a higher percentage of white people are school
suicide
shooters
bombers.
than there are percent.
Yeah,
I don't know what the actual numbers are for that. I don't know what the overall numbers of
I am-
suicide bombers historically are. So you might be right, you might not.
I am willing to stick by that.
But the
100%.
difference is, there's nothing about being white that makes you a suicide or that makes you a school shooter. There might be something.
That's the fuck shit. So now you're claiming that there is something in Islam that just makes you a fucking suicide bomber, right?
Yes.
There is none. None, because if that were the case, then you're claiming that 2 billion people are fucking not following the faith correctly, but this fucking 20,000, 30,000 people, they're the ones that got it right. Now, how
Can you
fucking
give
retarded
me?
is that
I'm
sound?
curious. Can you give me the equivalent of like a shaheed in Christianity? Can you give me the equivalent of somebody killing themselves and other people for their faith?
Hold on.
What? Yeah.
Hold on. You're telling me martyrdom doesn't exist in Christianity itself?
Here's my understanding. Tell me if I'm wrong. When we have martyrs in Christianity, they're people that sacrifice themselves for God. They don't blow themselves up with others into it. Now, is there other examples of Christianity that I'm not aware of? Can you tell me?
That's how it is in Islam. Just because a fucking suicide.
gotcha.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Just because a suicide.
I think that they
bomber
have like the explosions in the vest are too big if they're not supposed to take other
just
people with
because
them.
Okay, hold on. Your problem is you're willing to look at these fucking guys, take their word at face value, believe everything they're saying is correct. Oh, you're blowing yourself up because your faith told you to do so. Oh, then I believe you. Oh, it's because you're Muslim. Oh, then I believe you. Wait, all the terrorists in the world combined don't even make up a fraction of a fraction of a
Well,
fraction.
but wait. But hold on, Q. You said earlier. Q, you fought for this earlier. You said you guys all follow the same religion. Remember? It's all the exact same book.
With
All of the
different
completely unaltered.
interpretations. Then obviously we have fucking retards. You think? Now hold on. Just because humans are fucking fallible, just because humans are fucking retarded, doesn't take away from the faith. Just because you could have somebody who's liberal but is a goddamn fucking pedophile or is a goddamn rapist, why would I then look at that fucking person and say, you know what? Because he's liberal. It just makes sense. It just makes sense to me. No, it doesn't. And you ignoring the vast majority of Muslims.
I'm not
that
ignoring
need
the vast
no
majority of Muslims.
You are.
Most of them
Because you're trying
don't
to justify
suicide
these
bomb.
fucking retard
Just like
terrorists by their garbage.
most Catholics don't rape kids. Most Muslims don't suicide bomb. Okay. All I'm saying
No,
is that
but
if
you're
I had
very
a friend,
comfortable trying to push no stereotypes as
if I had a
jokes.
friend who was suicidal, okay. I'm not gonna make that joke. Listen.
Say, why not?
Rewinding, because you got me off track, because you're really good at that. You recognize there's a difference between making jokes about, and not even jokes really, by the way, but you haven't given me one of yet. There's a difference between attacking the Jewish ethnicity versus making jokes about the Muslim faith. If you want to compare these two things, if you want to, wait, just real quick. If you want to compare these things, me making fun of Arabs or making racist Arab jokes, that would be similar to making anti-Semitic, anti-Jew jokes. That's the comparison you're looking for. But nobody does that. Most Americans, no offense, don't even know what the fuck an Arab is. I love you, Americans.
By the way, most jokes that are made towards Muslims come from anti-Arab sentiment because most people associate Islam with the Middle East, even though the vast majority of Muslims come outside of the Middle East, aka Indonesia, Bangladesh, and so on and so forth, even Nigeria and like East Africa. But most fucking jokes come in like an anti-Arab way. So for instance, when somebody's wearing the turban and you keep clowning that shit, because you have on multiple occasions, that's not necessarily something that's like exclusive to Muslims, but you clown that, no problem. You don't even give a fuck.
How many
So
times
don't
have I
tell me
made fun of
people are
people
not
wearing?
willing-
I think I made like two
No.
towel head jokes in my whole fucking life. Yeah, and you know what? If I accidentally hit a Sikh on that, then he could say, hey, bro, I'm not fucking, I don't even know what the fuck, if that's our own religion or
Also,
not. Yeah, that's possible, and I fuck up. But hey, guess what? If I saw fucking, I'm pretty sure I made fun of bench prayer wearing a fucking yarmulke. But again, most Jewish people don't even...
No, that's as far as it goes with you and like making fun of Jews.
Okay, give me other Jew jokes. I'm waiting. Give me other good Jew jokes. Give me a couple. Give me 2.
But you won't accept any that fucking point out towards their features or fucking make fun of their big nose, for instance. Or if you fucking make, like, then you'll be like, that's making fun of an ethnicity.
That would be the equivalent of me calling, like, a Muslim, like, a sand N-word. Okay, what do you mean? We're not talking...
Oh!
When I'm talking about suicide bombers, you think that being a suicide bomber is a phenotype of an Arab? What the fuck is that comparison, bro?
Okay, hold on. But when you make fun of the fucking traditional wear that fucking people in Arab nations wear, right?
Yes, I will, because it looks silly.
Easily be interpreted as just being anti-Arab. You know that, right?
Okay, fine. Then in that case, I'm also okay. Then fine.
anti-Arab.
Then in that case, yesterday, you know what? I spent like 20 minutes making fun of Jews that have the weird hair shit. I didn't even know that was their real hair. I thought that was hats. Okay, when I was talking about Hasidic Jews. So there you go. But you know what? Most Jews you talk to are also gonna say the hair is goofy as fuck. Those are weird people. Like,
you keep doing that defense, by the way.
What?
The defense of, you know, if I talk to most Jews, they denounce all the crazy shit in their faith that I would like to make fun of. Like we spoke about the foreskin and fucking sucking baby penis and whatever the fuck. You said, you know what, I would clown that. But here's the thing. Jews would join me in clowning that shit. You always say that.
because most of them, I don't even know if most Jews are religious.
They're not.
No. Here's the thing. You focus on extremist pockets of Muslims to justify your hate, which you fucking said probably a few days ago. I fucking hate Muslims.
Justify hate. Hold on.
Yes,
I don't like the religion.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
okay,
the religion.
thank you. You brought that up. When you say you don't like the religion, when the religion is literally seen as a guideline, as a way for people to live their lives by, does that then not mean that you fucking hate the practitioner as well? Or are you trying to do this whole thing where you're trying to separate the two when in all reality, this person that you fucking apparently don't have a problem with, yeah, you have a problem with their faith, yet this person literally lives their life by the faith. How can you fucking create that separation?
The same way I do with Christians, the same way that I do with Jews, the same way with any religious person that lives their life. It's
that same way.
You say
you Christians and Muslims is not the same. It's not the same. As a Christian, I could be a good Christian without genuinely, because here's the thing: be kind to others, don't steal, don't cheat, don't. Sure, these are common
Get
human
wrecked.
decency things, but there are literally generally things in Islam that you have to follow day to day to day to day. It's a lot more, I'd say, strict in the way that you carry out your life when it comes to you being a Muslim. So when you hate the faith, you're trying to act like you don't hate the person. It doesn't make any sense. This person is literally living pretty much like almost like a lot of the important aspects of their life is surrounding faith. How could you create that separation? I'm genuinely curious. Tell me.
If that's how intertwined their shit is, then I just don't like that part of them. What do you want me to say? Do I have to accept it because it's religious?
Like the major part
if you want to, if it is a major part of you, then you are a sad human being, and I probably wouldn't like you anyway. Is that what you want me to say? I'll say that. If that makes you feel better.
No, it's not. First of all, don't fucking package it as like if you want me to say that, I'll say that. Just say what you actually fucking feel, because when I see you fucking trying to make the claim, I just hate the faith, not the people. I just find it a bit fucking delusional or slightly copish, because like I told you, you can't
copish?
do that. Number one.
We're making up words.
When it comes to your jokes, right?
I know copium is a made up word, but like copish.
If Andrew fucking Schultz
Let's do better if we're making up
not because
words.
they're comedians, right? I wouldn't have a problem with them. It's not because they're comedians.
Toronto's
but
is a fool, so
they haven't
can't
sat
really hold
online
into it.
and just branded themselves proudly as Islamophobic. You won't fucking sit there and be like, dude, I am super fucking anti-Judaism. I fucking hate the Jewish faith. I think it's fucking deplorable. I think it's
That's
fucking
actually
disgusting.
true.
I just hate
He
it.
has a
You
very
wouldn't do
good
that.
point right there.
Because,
He is
first of all,
hated on
because
Christians
it's
and Muslims
because
super
the amount
hard.
of Jews that follow the Jewish faith are different. If you want me to criticize the Jewish faith, the most of the time I do it in response to, say when we're talking about Israel,
What the
usually when I'm talking
fuck
about the
is going on with
settlements,
my
we're talking about
shadow
like
right now?
crazy far-right, ultra-nationalist, ultra-Zionist, sometimes religious people. Like, but I'm pretty sure even in Israel, like half of the Jews in Israel, the country dedicated to them, like half of these people aren't even religious. They're secular. Like, there's just not a comparison to be made here. You're desperately looking for it. It just doesn't exist. And I'm going to ask you for the 27th time, can you give me an anti-Jewish joke about the Jewish religion and not the Jewish ethnicity?
There's plenty of things, but if I were to
Give me
bring
one.
them up to you, you know, no, hold on.
Oh
If I were to bring them up to you, wait, I'm answering you. You just don't like the answer. Deal with it. If I were to bring them up to you, you'd use the same reasoning that you just did. Not many people follow the faith. It's irrelevant. Why would I make fun of it if nobody gives a flying fuck? That's what you'd say. So at that point, that's just a get out of jail free card of ever fucking trying to stand on your fucking word.
Because if I'm trying to hold on, no, Q. Because I'm not a fucking woke progressive woke scold like you're being right now. Where when I try to write offensive jokes, no, you're like, Destiny, if you're gonna tell offensive jokes, you need to write down every single religion, and you need to make sure that you have one bad joke for every single one, so that's even. If you're telling an offensive joke, usually you're trying to trigger somebody. Why would I tell an offensive joke about Jews when I know nobody gives a fuck? Most Jewish people are gonna look at me and go, ha, that's either funny or they're not gonna care, and everybody else is gonna be like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about because nobody knows about this. Whereas when I say one thing about Muslims, I get 4 billion fucking death threats in my inbox because you guys get fucking triggered. So of course that's the joke you're gonna tell. What do you mean?
So in comparison to Muslims, you don't believe that Jews get that offended, so you don't fucking go after them just because of that reason. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nobody Jews don't give a fuck when you make fun of their religion.
Lose their mind.
Yeah,
like there are people that will lose their mind.
Who? Okay, give me one example of it happening.
Fuck yeah.
You're telling me that these people, because you acknowledge that there are Jews that adhere to their faith, just like a Muslim would, like genuinely adhere to their faith and not just I'm
yes,
a Jew by
and
like,
I would fight with those Jews, but most of those Jews are too fucking retarded to even log onto the internet. Okay, these guys are going out with horses and weird hats and trying to open up new fucking houses and next to Palestinians that they can kill. Okay, most of these Jews don't post online. The Jewish people that post online are young kids that go to fucking the people that fucking live in the U.S. and shit. What do you mean? Like the types of Jews that are online are secular. What are you talking about? I can't even get to these people to make fun of them.
Sure. I take your point on that, but even in your coverage of Israel Palestine,
yeah,
the amount of shit jokes, shit stirring garbage that you said about Palestinians infinitely increases. Like it's way more than what you did about the Israelis. Because when you speak about the fucking people that are hard to find, they're right there. You just spoke about them a little bit when you're like, oh, these fucking people are just out there trying to kill Palestinians and fucking illegally settle in their land. But when it comes to your coverage, you never make any sort of fucking edgy jokes towards those people. Never. But about the Palestinians, you repeatedly did that shit. Even prior to the entire fucking war that fucking happened. Like, you were on,
what do we, yeah, wait, I don't, because nobody wants to fight or argue on that point. It's obvious, and we move on. It should be the same with Hamas. There shouldn't be anything to say about Hamas. Everybody should say like, yeah, Hamas is pretty horrible. The attacks on October 7th were pretty bad. If they said that, nobody would be talking about it. The only reason why people are talking about it so much is because so many people try to fucking defend it.
So because you know you'll receive pushback if you do a certain thing, you do it. So you know that if you say anti-Muslim jokes and you like fucking up it to an 11 when it comes to the disrespect, you know the fucking response that you're gonna get, and that's why you do it.
When you're telling an offensive joke or you're trying to get under somebody's skin, you're choosing something that's gonna bother the person. So in a way, yes, when you're insulting somebody, you're trying to make them feel bad. That's what it means to insult somebody. Yes, that's the whole point.
Would you feel bad? Would you feel bad? Okay, sure. You know what? I give you everything that we spoke about, right? Mm-hmm. So, would you feel bad for a fucking retard that went out of his way to fucking poke the bear and then get his ass fucking bit? Because that's what you're doing pretty much at this point. You know, that's what you're doing pretty much. You acknowledge that there's certain, and by the way, they're not the majority. That's how you always try to.
It depends on what we mean by poking the bear. Okay. If somebody making fun of your religion is encouraging you to take unhinged actions to kill that person, you've got the problem and you are incompatible with the world that it exists today, and you should be removed from it. That's my position.
We've had this conversation plenty of times.
Yeah, we have.
If you were to go out in public, and you were to go up to a fucking person and all of a sudden just start going in on their goddamn mom or going in on their family, and then they fucking beat the fuck out of you, 9 out of 10 people will tell you that was deserved. We act as though this is something that's completely different when it comes to religion. Most people will fucking resort to physical violence when it comes to disrespect of things that they value.
Number one.
So when you say society, that means you just want to fucking cancel out 99% of society and just leave the people that are fucking.
Number one. Okay, listen. Okay, Muhammad is not your father. Okay, it's not your family.
See,
Number one.
But who are you to decide how important my faith is to me, though? That's your problem, right?
Who am I to decide how important your fucking pet rat or your computer screen is to you? What do you mean? I'm a human being that can place appropriate levels of values on things. Okay? It's totally equivalent. You don't have the right to decide which things, like, if I'm the biggest Matrix 1 fanatic in the world and I find out that there's somebody that thinks that, like, Revolution's gonna Reloaded, why is it not comparable? Why do you get to decide that?
Nobody lives their life by the fucking Matrix. Number one.
You don't know that? I'm sure we can find a few schizos in my audience that do.
Go ahead. No. How about go ahead and name them? Because you waited for me to name a couple of fucking people. Go ahead and name them.
Do you want me to forward you some? I mean, there was the one guy, mouthpiece user, that bald dude that got fucking arrested for making threats near that school that used to email me. I'm sure he probably watches the Matrix a lot.
Don't bite the bullet on this shit. You don't have to.
Don't bite the bullet. Okay, so then you agree then that the pronoun people are okay for trying to kill people or for canceling people if they're upset because you don't use the right pronouns then? That's okay for them? You would defend their right? Would you defend their right to demand the right pronouns? Otherwise they can cancel or kill whoever misgenders them?
No. Here's your problem.
Okay, tell me my problem.
Here's a lot of people's problem. Here's a lot of people's problems as well. Just because I acknowledge the way of the world and how things operate doesn't mean that I'm co-signing it. Never have I ever once co-signed, even though the shit that you
have absolutely. Oh wait, we can test this right now. Wait, we can test this right now. Do you think that if you're a Muslim and you hear somebody insult your faith, do you think you have like a responsibility to Islam if you believe in your faith to go and defend it, to go and beat that person up?
Defend your faith. I don't believe that you should fucking like break the nigga or kill him or like. I don't believe that.
Punch him? Attack him?
I don't believe that.
This is the difference between you and me. Do you understand how much? No, the fact that you even struggle, nothing that you says, literally nothing you says past this point. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It's not a game. Try with me. Try. Do me next. Do me next. Say, Steven, if somebody makes fun of Christianity, if somebody makes fun of American people or America, should you walk up and punch that person? Should I don't have to say anything. Should I beat the shit out of somebody? Should I attack somebody? Should I shoot somebody? It's so easy.
There's nothing you hold in your heart that is similar to what people of faith hold their religion as. There isn't. So
that's not true. What do you mean? If somebody were to go in on like a family member, or if somebody go in on like a personal friend, especially to my face, then maybe, I would obviously feel differently about that. The fact that you're delusional enough, no offense, to compare Sky Daddy God to fucking a guy's actual personal friend, and the fact that you're comparing people saying shit on the internet to screaming something about a personal friend in your face is delusional.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
When it comes to me denouncing people hurting you or punching you or whatever, my faith doesn't tell me to fucking go kill you or even punch you or even fucking lay a finger on you, by the way. It's not from my faith. It's me. It's not my faith. It's me. The hesitation came from me. That's where you need to fucking draw the fucking differentiation. It's not because my faith tells me to go fucking hurt you or kill you. No. My faith tells me to go defend it the right way. It doesn't tell me to go fucking slaughter this nigga because he's shit talking Islam. No,
how do you make sense of so many people? How do you make sense?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just curious from a Muslim point of view. How do you make sense of so many people then that use jihad as an example or as an excuse or as a rationale to go and fight against the enemies of Islam?
When you say the enemies of Islam, what are we talking about? People that
depends on who you ask. If it's ISIS, it's fucking literally everybody. Okay, we could ask Bin Laden. I'm not Muslim. I don't have a position on this. I think it's all fucking retarded. If you ask Bin Laden, it was everybody in the West was an enemy of Islam, right? He was encouraging you in his letter to America. He was encouraging people to convert, and that one of the reasons he attacks us is because we don't worship the one true fucking God. So I'm asking you, what does jihad mean to you, if not people using Islam to justify violent attacks against people that aren't Muslim?
First of all, it is indicative of your viewing or the way that you see Islam, that every single time that you bring up something about Islam, you always go to ISIS, Al-Qaeda, terrorist groups, number one. Number two...
I'm sorry, we could use Iran. Do you want to use countries?
What, countries that even most Muslims don't agree with, because most Muslims are not here just simping for Iran, by the way, so that even wouldn't work, right? You asked the wrong person.
Oh, so I have to go with the majority opinion of people that all worship and live in slightly different ways?
No, not necessarily. Most people, when it comes to the most Muslims, 95% similarity. There's just a few things that are different. Okay. That's it. Number one. Number two, right? When it comes to the jihad, it means dying for your faith and protection of it. If somebody bears arms against you, you have the right to bear arms back and go fight them. That's what it means. It doesn't mean, hey, go ahead and fucking go kill that random person. That is not what it means, and it has never fucking meant that. But that's the way that you see it. That's the problem. And like I said, wait,
to be clear, that's not the way that I see it. That's the way that a lot of extremist, jihadist, Islamist groups see it.
No,
to be clear, not just me.
You keep bringing them up, though. Yeah, but you keep bringing them up.
Of course I'm bringing them up.
We're talking about Islam, but you're trying so hard to push this terrorist.
I'm not trying hard to do that. ISIS and Al-Qaeda did that. I'm just pointing out that it happens.
And here's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
Here's the funny, ironic part.
Okay, tell me.
The vast majority of the victims of Al-Qaeda, of ISIS, are Muslim people.
Wow, and the vast majority of black shooters are black people. The vast majority of white shooters are white people. Congratulations. People tend to victimize those around them. Yes, that is true. Thank you. True.
That isn't the case. When you try to sit here, because you claim that you're not trying to do that, but again, that's how it's coming across, and it's a problem with the way that you communicate with your
What's coming across like what?
No, I'll tell you. Hold on, I'll tell you. When we talk about Islam, when we talk about people that practice their faith, when we talk about their response to certain fucking shit that's said by people like you. Oh, but what's your thoughts about jihad? What's your thought about like that terrorist group and that terrorist group and this terrorist group and that terrorist group? You always go towards terrorism. You always go towards terrorists as a way to fucking see how the average person or average Muslim.
I'm not saying that's the average person. Listen, okay? It's not that it's the average person. It's just a rich repository for jokes. Do you think the average Catholic priest is a rapist?
No.
Then why didn't you intervene when everybody's making rape jokes today about Catholic priests? Because it's a funny way to joke about fucking Catholics.
Did I intervene when they were making the Muslim shit as well? I usually let 99% of my
yeah, you did. No, that was literally the time you got the most heavily involved in the fucking show is when they started talking about Islam. What are you talking about?
No. When I started talking about Islam is when Pisco said that Islam has also changed over history. And I said, no, just because there's different schools of thought doesn't mean that the fucking faith itself has changed. That's what I came in. Not when they were making the shit jokes. It was veto pretty much. But I didn't come in when that shit was happening. So you gotta get it right. All I'm saying is, when you fucking talk to like Christians, or when you talk to like religious, like Ben Shapiro types, right? Your like Islam jokes always come out in full effect when you're talking to a person that has that faith, that practices it. And in these red pill spaces, even like a Ben Shapiro type, I know you haven't spoken to him yet, but still, the fucking example works, right? You never go towards their faith. Most of the time, you never touch it.
I'll ask you again for the 50 millionth time, what anti-Jew joke can I make against Ben Shapiro? I don't even know what the fuck I would say. You keep in mind, I've asked you this question like 50 times, you don't have a single one.
Okay. Let me just put it to you simply, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. No, you tell me if I'm wrong. Is Ben Shapiro not one of those people that you would view as those fucking super religious guys that probably don't fucking use the internet, but he just happens to be one of them?
No, he's, no.
What, you're telling me he's not like super Jew over here? Like,
I seriously doubt he is. If he is, he keeps it quiet. I don't think he's ultra. I don't think Ben Shapiro's about to go fucking hop in a settlement and do some shit. He's like a tradcon person. But also, maybe he does.
The same guy that shat on Arabs, he went farther than you've ever done. Like, he generally like fucking did the pretty much like fucking mud people type shit. Like, he did that.
Yeah, he was wrong for those statements, but also remember that wasn't a joke that he said. That was just something mean. You're talking about something, yeah, that was something totally different. Yeah.
So you're telling me that person that held those beliefs and is still like, he's still pretty much the same guy. He hasn't like softened, or he hasn't like been like, oh, you know what, I'm Jewish, but you know we should really take into consideration all these fucking innocent Palestinians and Muslims and blah blah blah. He hasn't done any of that. So.
If I would have I don't understand. I'll ask you one more time because you proved my point a million times. You know a ton of fucking anti-Islam jokes. You know a ton of fucking anti-Muslim jokes. You haven't given me.
I've received them.
Okay.
The only reason I know them is
you can't give me a single one about Jewish people.
Because I don't go out of my way fucking seeking those jokes.
Bro, you don't have to go out of your way. Half the Arab world thinks all the Jews run every fucking thing in the West anyway. You're telling me you didn't hear any anti-Jewish joke growing up from your fucking parents, from your fucking school, from your fucking mosque? You didn't hear a single one? There's no shot, motherfucker. I know you've heard anti-Jew jokes before.
God strike me dead if I'm lying. I swear to God. I've heard more anti-Muslim jokes in the Muslim country that I lived in than anti-Jew fucking jokes.
Okay, in that case, if you're not to be racist or Islamophobic, but if you're a fucking Somalian man that doesn't know anti-Jewish jokes, why the fuck would I know any?
Because you're the one who's more involved in these things.
Oh my
God. You're the more edgier person. Plus, you got 20 years on me. That's why. Are you telling me these are not valid? What? Stop painting me crazy. Stop it. You're telling me you don't know any Jew jokes that don't involve their fucking ethnicity? Now, you be honest. I was honest when I told you my fucking point of view, right? I was being honest. You tell me. You don't know? You don't know any jokes?
The only Jew jokes I could even possibly think of are Holocaust jokes. That's literally it.
You are a mean motherfucker, bro. I didn't even think about that. Come on, that's not fucking
Jewish people, bro. Literally, once they got kicked out of their Judea and all that shit, they were literally like, we're just gonna fuck our religion and worship in temples and whatever the fuck. They don't give a fuck about anything, okay? You guys spent fucking thousands of years trying to build caliphites all over the Middle fucking East and doing all your crazy shit all over the world. Of course, people are gonna have different ideas. And Christians went all over the fucking world trying to convert every fucking person they could find to Christianity, okay? The people that Jewish Jewish people want to convert the most are older Jews that stop going to fucking temple. Okay? There's a reason why there's all these jokes about Christians and fucking Muslims, and nobody knows any fucking jokes about Jewish people. Okay?
You mentioned the whole banking shit. You mentioned the whole control. You mentioned the world is run by Jews. Blah blah.
Yeah, but keep in mind, no. Hold on, be very careful. Those aren't Jewish religion jokes. Those are Jewish ethnicity jokes, and I do make those jokes. But those jokes are way more edgy than suicide bomber jokes. Okay, those jokes are way more edgy than suicide bomber jokes.
Oh, how so? Now
because a suicide bomber joke is a fucking joke about your religion, obviously. Okay? Jews run the world is on some fucking cultural Bolshevism, fucking pro-Nazi shit. That would be more akin to me making anti-Arab jokes. That'd be more akin to me, like, calling you a monkey or something. That's more on that line. Or, like, Arab people or brown people or blah, 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 blah. There's a difference.
They're absolutely not. The only difference is not the one that you just stated. That was a fucking hyperbolic, extreme exaggeration. It is not that close. When it comes to Jews controlling the world, when it comes to Jews being in the banking industry, when it comes to Jews favoring other fucking Jewish people, when it comes to interest or loans or a lot of that stems from their faith, by the way. Like the whole financial, how you control money and all that stuff, you can look it up. I'm not making this up. It comes from their faith. I have never, ever, ever, and I could be like an anomaly here, I have never associated those jokes with the ethnicity. I associated it with the faith. If they always say, the fucking Jewish, like, banking world or it's because of their actions. It never falls because of, if I said big nose or whatever, sure, you'd be correct, I'd be wrong. But it's not about their fucking, like, characteristic, like their body or whatever. Their actions, the shit that they do. So it really isn't. And by the way, just because you see those jokes as Nazi-ish or whatever, you know most people that make fucking suicide bombing jokes is like the ultra fucking most like Islamophobic people that are like far-right extremist nationalist leagues in Europe that are trying to purge Europe of fucking Muslims and going out of their way to commit hate crimes. Those are the people that make those jokes the most.
Yeah,
but
some of them are. No,
point.
you don't, because now all those people are pro-Islam because they think Christianity is gay and Islam is base.
No,
so
you're falling for the you're falling for the racial garbage.
I'm
it's
not,
not.
they are.
Not,
and now I'm over here, and you know what? Now I'm the guy that has to make those jokes. I've got to carry this cross or camel, whatever the fuck it is. I've got to carry it alone. Okay? I have to do it. I have to do it. Now that conservatives have abandoned shitting on Islam, I have to take that mantle up, and that's my burden to carry. Okay, and I accept that.
Now listen. You say this like ironically. Like,
I'm giving you the final word, and I gotta host Irrelevant and go to dinner. Go ahead.
That's how you move, by the way. Like super contrarian. If people are moving right, you move to the left just for fucking shits and giggles. But all I'm gonna say is, if you genuinely recognize the risks that come with your jokes, why should people feel bad?
That's like saying, like, if a
no, you tell me.
I'm telling you, if a slave runs away from a house and he gets shot in the back, would you be like, wow, why'd you? No, it is. If you're
try again. That is a
people should not be attacking or killing people because somebody's joking about your religion. If you're doing that,
they shouldn't. No, they should. Sure, you said this shit that everybody agrees with. I agree.
You don't agree with that. You don't agree with that. You don't agree with that. You don't agree with that.
I agree. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree.
Okay.
When it comes fundamentally to my faith, to my belief, to the way that I see life, I agree.
Okay.
When it comes to me emotionally as a person, sure, I fucking get heated. If somebody makes fun of my religion in front of my face or makes fun of my family, bruh, I'll get heated, obviously. Sure. But what I'm telling you right now is, you knowing the consequences of your actions, genuinely knowing, if I do this, it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm gonna get this, but you still do it. It is literally akin to you poking the bear, but when you get bit, I'm supposed to feel bad? I'm supposed to feel bad?
When am I asking you to feel? Hold on. Who am I asking?
I'm just saying, because...
When am I... Wait, what do you mean you're just saying? When have I ever asked you to feel... How do I victimize myself?
Wait, how do I... I'll tell you. Can I tell you? Can I tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Thank you. When you act as though it's a shocker, oh my god, that this about a slap, and then all of a sudden all these fucking unhinged people are coming at me. This is crazy. This is insane. This is super fucked up.
You're conflating so many things. Hold on. I'm not... First of all, it is crazy, and it is insane, but I'm not shocked by it. Muslims are the most fragile people in the fucking world. You're the easiest motherfuckers to farm ever. Like, yeah, no shit.
Again, I watch your wording. You're the easiest people to farm, and then you go into it, farm as in how? Oh, I know if I say X, Y, and Z, you'll be fucking pissed off, and you'll give me the reaction that I'm looking for. But once I get the reaction that I'm looking for, I'll then proceed to go online and shit on you to just fucking justify my fucking Islamophobia. So it's literally, you don't fight the fucking... Yeah, you don't try to seek good. Let's be honest. You don't try to seek the positive. You don't try to seek the shit that doesn't confirm your biases. You try to seek the shit that fucking makes sure, oh, I knew these people are fucked up. I knew these people are fucking bad. So you know what? Because again, when it came to Aiden, more people in his community that doxed you are Christians. More people are like just like completely detached away from Islam. But the messages that you focused on pushing out were the Muslim ones. Is that simple? Is that
Because I hate Arabs. It's the root of everything.
Even when it comes, even when it comes to Christianity, you don't go that hard. I mean, according to you, it's because they're soy, I guess. Or they're soy, they wouldn't go as hard as Muslims.
Literally, that's literally what Muslims say, right?
You believe that as well, because if you didn't, you would have been going at Christians as hard as you go at Muslims.
Bro, I grew up as an atheist in the 2000s. I've like exhausted all of the Christian jokes I can possibly say. But like Christians online don't even fucking care anymore. Bro, you know how I used to make fun of Christians 6 or 7 years ago when conservatives were Christian by saying, hey, you guys just sound like Muslims. But listen, there's like none of them to make fun of anymore. Now they all are fucking Islam. So now that's all I got to shit on because I'm an atheist and that's what we do. So listen, at some point they're all gonna swing back to being Christian again. I'll go back to making fun of them. We can lock side by side, okay, arm in arm, and shit on the Christians together. But you know,
listen. Yeah. I love all my people of faith. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna shit on Christians. I'm not gonna shit on Jews. All I'm gonna say is, when I see somebody that goes hard on a certain group, you know what?
And when we say goes hard, we means like makes 4 jokes.
No. This not makes 4 jokes. It's literally goes online and fucking proudly proclaims, I fucking hate Islam. I'm an Islamophobe. Yes, I fucking despise them. Every chance that comes up where I can fucking shit on the people.
Dude, same thing with Christians.
Yeah.
Yep. So true. Yeah, true. Yeah. All right.
Agree to disagree.
I love you. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a happy holiday. Okay. Be careful. Wait. What do Muslims celebrate for Christmas?
End of the year. We don't even celebrate that. I'm lying. We don't celebrate anything.
You don't have a candles or a holiday or anything?
No, it's a pagan holiday. Christians shouldn't even be celebrating fucking Christmas, but it is what it is. Because Jesus wasn't even born on fucking December 25th.
Do you guys celebrate like Muhammad's birthday or some shit?
No, that's haram.
My God.
That's fucked up.
Rough life.
Listen, we always celebrate Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr. Two things. That's it. We don't celebrate anything else.
Okay. Well, have fun. Goodbye. See you later.
All right, take care.
Bye. Okay, I'm hosting irrelevant. Jesus. Be careful. Love you guys. Bye.
What is this fucking attack? Get fucked. Slut. I don't think I've ever seen this attack.
It's not okay. So when you talk to people and you vent about like a friend or relationship partner, they only have to hear 1 or 2 things. This is a problem for everybody. Everybody, this is like... Never reads YouTube. If you really want to get noticed, you gotta be in like all things, all points in time. Okay. But listen. Never reads YouTube. I read every chat. I read all things, all points in time. Okay. But listen. If you really want to get noticed, you gotta be in that kick chat. Okay. Okay, okay, sorry, because people in chat keep asking. Okay, this is, let me give you some insight into my, I don't know how to call this workflow or whatever, but anytime a dramatic event happens, so obviously everything for the past month, because people are asking like, why do you text so much? Well, anything anytime a dramatic event happens, what'll happen is I start getting a flood of messages from a ton of different people. It might be friends, it might be distant friends, it might be like people that I haven't talked to in a while, it might be industry people, it might be other peripheral content creators, and then it might be like a smattering of like random professional contacts. Okay, so I'll get all of these messages, and it'll be a lot. It'll be 50 to maybe 100 of these in a particular day. So I'd like to respond to all of them, although maybe on Discord, maybe I need to start aggressively removing people, which feels really bad. But I usually respond to them. So what happens is I will respond to them, and then after I respond to them, I'll get responses from about 80% of them, and then that keeps going and going and going. So that's why the yeah, sorry. So that's why like over the past month I've been talking to so many people, because there's so many people messaging me shit, and I have to like respond to that, blah blah, and that'll go through like emails and Discord. That's like where all the shit has been coming from. Yeah, sorry, Jesus. But after all of this is settled and done, which it should be right now, I guess probably within like a few days, because I can't imagine there's anything else that could come from this. Then yeah, we'll be back on our normal grind. Okay. I'd ask you removing people, which feels really and then it might be like a smattering of like random professional contacts. Okay, so I'll get all of these messages, and it'll be a lot. It'll be 50 to maybe 100 of these in a particular day. So I'd like to respond to all of them, although maybe on Discord, maybe I need to start aggressively removing people, which feels really bad. But I usually respond to them. So what happens is I will respond to them, and then after I respond to them, I'll get responses from about 80% of them, and then that keeps going and going and going. So that's why the yeah, sorry. So that's why like over the past month I've been talking to so many people, because there's so many people messaging me shit, and I have to like respond to that, blah blah, and that'll go through like emails and Discord. That's like where all the shit has been coming from. Yeah, sorry, Jesus. But after all of this is settled and done, which it should be right now, I guess probably within like a few days, because I can't imagine there's anything else that could come from this. Then yeah, we'll be back on our normal grind. Okay. I'd ask you, if you find out that your wife is not who you thought she was, why wouldn't you expect her to go after your money? Have your views changed since the soy stream? No, I don't think so. I think I understand all the parts of the situation pretty well. But people always read into people read into things however they want to read into things. Like there are certain ideologies that are if I was talking honestly or candidly, I would say there are certain ideologies that are delusional, but I would say there are a lot of ideologies that are very popular that are, instead of delusional, I'll say their form of analysis is resistant to any sort of contradictory fact. So what you do is you look at a situation, and most situations are sufficiently complicated you can pick and choose the facts, and then you will always make it fit your narrative. I can't help you with that. If that's what you think, that's what you want to think about things, that's fine. Yeah. Do you really think talking about your relationship to any friends is a bad idea? No, I think that it's okay to like vent to a friend or two about your relationship, but I think you should choose like very strategically. Like something that I would say, this isn't even advice. I think this is like a requirement if you want to have healthy relationships. It's good to have like 1 or 2 really close friends that you like designated to kind of vent to or talk to about your relationship, who maybe keep tabs on everything. But one thing people don't realize, I stress this so much, and it's so true when it comes out of like racism and, you know, any sort of like xenophobia. If somebody comes up to you and they tell you something like, I fucking hate Indians, they're just the most obnoxious people in the world, what that person is actually saying is, I probably had 1 or 2 bad experiences, probably 1 with an Indian person. That's what they're actually saying. Okay, when somebody says like, I went to Germany and Germany is fucking horrible, what they're actually saying is they spent 4 days in Cologne and they went to a restaurant and somebody was rude to them once. That's what people like generalize like crazy. It just always works like that. People generalize everything. That's what we do as humans, right? Pattern recognition, then extrapolation of said pattern. Most of the time it's okay, but like in certain situations it's not okay. So when you talk to people and you vent about like a friend or relationship partner, they only have to hear 1 or 2 things, and then they're like, oh shit, well hold on. This person seems really horrible, because then they're gonna get that feeling, yeah. Is this a problem for pretty women? Like, can they have friends who just want to be friends? No, this is a problem for everybody. Everybody, this is like a, this isn't a monogamous, polyamorous, it's not a male, female, pretty, ugly, this is an everybody problem. I would say that like 2 big rules that everybody should have is 1, if you're gonna vent about your partner, just have like 1 or 2 people that you talk to. It can't be everybody, probably shouldn't be family members, but like 1 or 2 people that you talk to. And 2, this is true of, I would say this is true of like poly or open relationships especially, but this is really true of, well, no, this is true of everything especially. I can think of good reasons why this is true of everybody. Do not ever, 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 ever vent about your partner to a member of the opposite sex. You're doing so many self-destructive, mutually destructive, and destructive to the other person things by engaging in that sort of behavior. It's self-destructive because you're setting yourself up in your relationship for failure by leading people on. It's destructive to the other person because they think that you're trying to like build them up in their mind, and you're trying to like send them a message like, wait, I can be better than your partner. And it's mutually destructive because you're probably going to destroy whatever friendship you have if you're like loading a person's mind with that. Yeah, it's very, very, very careful to do that. Yo, Destiny, how are you doing? Also, homie, the new FTC Survivor title is wild. Eminem and the white rapper problem. That's so goofy. Oh boy, I can't imagine. Oh, I don't subscribe to red pilling. I just remembered you said you had a sort of revelation on the type of person Mel was the whole time, and that she asked for money from you when she had said originally she didn't prioritize money. Mel does not prioritize money. Mel is not a gold digger. Again, I know that everybody's gonna run with that, everyone's saying that, but she's not. Mel, I said this originally, Mel just wants enough money to like have an apartment and go travel and like live, probably not travel anymore because Tim doesn't like to, and just like live her life and do goofy shit. Like that's more or less all Mel wants. The reason why she's asked for money now is because she just realized that she's probably gonna lose her super cheap apartment in Sweden, and now she's feeling like a huge crunch. I guess I don't really want to. I don't need people to defend my relationship takes or my status or anything like that. But like the easy question is obviously when people the easiest question obviously is people go like, oh, well, doesn't this prove she's a gold digger? If I was a gold digger, she never would have given me the money back before therapy, obviously. She would have made excuses or to hold on to it. She would have said, I can't do it, or maybe we should talk to therapy first, blah, blah. But like, Mel literally gave me, we transferred, it was about 120,000 USD cash from our bank accounts literally hours before we did our big therapy session. If Mel was a gold digger, she wouldn't have done that. She would have held on to that money. Like, there's no way. Are you gonna watch the Walsh video? I'm not watching any Daily Wire people talk about my relationship. No. The last thing I ever want is to listen to a red pillar or a conservative try to diagnose any relationship problem. All it is like, here is a conduit for me to just preach all the stuff I always preach with zero like real world interaction, engagement, or analysis at all. Just boring to me. Fuck. I said I would start my stream early and just do because I still have to fucking catch up my shit. You're attaching way too much rational thought to an irrational situation. One of the biggest mistakes that people make are people don't understand what it means to be rational or what it means to be irrational. Because sometimes people will look at people making bad decisions and they'll go, oh, that person is being irrational. And in your mind, you very quickly conflate irrational with random. These two things are totally different. Somebody can have a couple of false premises in their mind and then make decisions accordingly. And you can say, well, you're kind of acting irrationally. You're acting, contrary to your best interest. That doesn't mean the actions are random. That's a mistake. Just because people are acting dumbly doesn't mean that it is beyond analysis or comprehension, right? You can, analyze or understand most things, unless they're literally flipping coins, like the Joker. Gold digger, nah. Clout chaser, maybe. Didn't she date a smaller content creator to you before? This time she has a pretty big TT following. Do you think she's chasing that? No. Melina, no. Again, if Melina was clout chasing, there's like a billion things that she could have done better. Yeah, there's like a billion things that she could do differently.
Oh, thank you very much.
20 more on my Discord. Fuck. Let me just refresh my email. Did she reach out to you after stream yesterday? No, she's blocking everything. I don't think we're ever talking again. Or maybe in a couple years. Destiny, by your logic, I have a girl best friend I should never vent to about my relationship. That seems retarded. If you're asking me about that, then yes, you probably shouldn't, because you probably are retarded. If you are super secure in that friendship, you've been friends for a long time, you guys have both dated other people, you've never hooked up, never kissed, never dated, or whatever, then you would know that, like, oh, okay, well, this is probably safe to vent to. Like, obviously, what Destiny's saying wouldn't apply there. But if you don't know that, and you're, like, typing furious in my chat, you're probably too retarded to sort it out, and probably shouldn't do it.
Are you kidding me?
Is it possible to escape the friend zone? Probably not. Good luck. Are you saying that people should only go to a therapist for outside relationship advice? What you're saying is a valid issue, but the issue isn't that going outside the relationship is bad, it's that some people use it in bad things. I literally just said, why are you asking me this? I didn't say that. I never said you can only go to a therapist. I just said find one or two friends to talk to about it. That's it. That's it. What? Do you not? You're not. Listen to what I'm saying? You see any unhinged takes on a drunk kid getting smashed in the face with a skateboard from the N-word? Nope. I feel like this relationship would be more self-worth, confidence. Maybe. My confidence is already pretty high. It has helped me figure out things. How do you parse conclusions you arrive at while you are fresh after a breakup from those based in reality? I don't know. I always try to solicit feedback from other people and challenge my opinions on things. But the, I think, like, organizing your mind is like a mindset. It's not like a one-time action. And I think I do this pretty well, like, because of all my politics background and everything. Hopefully. Pennsylvania. What is this for? Fuck me. Do I need this? It's gotta be this. There's no way that I know this. Hold on. I'm gonna date older women now? Maybe. I feel like 25 and up is like should be my limit. But, who knows, you know? Maybe we'll try another 20-year-old, fuck it. Why not? Rather than, like, being more hands-off in the relationship, I think I need to be more of, like, the grooming type. So you grab a 20-year-old and then you mold them into the perfect partner. That's what the red pillars say, right? You have to train them. What do they say? Trainable? There's a word that they use for, like, the 20-year-old girls. I forgot. Bro, there's no shot. I have this number. Hold on.
Oh, splendid. Then tell them of this.
Oh, teachable.
Mr. Alwell. If you can please.
Bro. You know, actually, you know what? I don't care. Fuck it. Wait, where's that one taxman guy in my chat? I saw you earlier. You don't actually need to file 1099s, right? Does it actually matter? I feel like I haven't filed these for a few years, and it's like, as long as you're like accounting for all the income on your statements and you're like paying your tax you're supposed to, do you actually have to send people 1099s, assuming that they file their taxes? And if they don't, that's on them, right? Is it actually like a federal tax requirement to do this, or is it just like a courtesy thing? Do you know? This is real tax advice, by the way. So whatever you say, I'm holding you to it. I'm suing you if you don't give me the right answer. For others, you should. It's a best practice for sure. I didn't ask what was best practice. I asked if it was a legal requirement or a tax filing requirement. I don't know if you can. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, good. Because your state cake is asking for like a fucking withholding bullshit. All right. What is this? Don't care. Okay. resumption of the 10th emergency special session in 2 hours. What, in Congress? Or would you still date a streamer and be in an open relationship? I'm probably always going to gravitate towards open relationships, but I date a streamer? I don't know, man. There's a quote today from Hans Kohn, a Zionist, who wrote the following in 1929 in response to the Hebron massacre. I feel like I no longer remain a leading official within the Zionist organization. I tend to be innocent victims because the Arab attacks in August, the armies, the connected with the war, including all barbaric acts that characteristic of colonial revolt. We are obliged to look into the deeper causes. Great legs versus goals. Hamas facing unconventional resistance to the enemy. Dr. Mike reviews, is being fat a choice? Oh shit. Oh, this guy. Oh. I feel like I think I already gave this exact take on stream. I feel like the 50 IQ take is that like you don't have any choice if you're fat or not, and then like the 100 IQ take is that like, well, you can obviously modify your diet and do everything accordingly, and then like the 150 IQ take is like your dietary habits are probably mostly set in adolescence when it's not really your choice at all. So that's the feeling. Everybody can choose to diet better and choose to like make better choices, but like I think you're a super slave to your environment when it comes to establishing dietary habits early on in life. I'm a licensed mortgage banker, and I've been for 4 years now. If you'd like to ask me questions on zoning and housing markets, in some ways it can be fixed legislatively. I'm willing to lend you some experience. Wow. Thanks, buddy. Boom. What are your thoughts on the Colorado Trump ruling? Pretty scary. I skimmed that paper, is it 13th Amendment or 14th Amendment, Section 3? And then I skimmed the response paper, because both these papers are pretty extensive. I think this will probably be one where we'll probably read the full, the opinion of the court, what do you call it, and then the dissenting opinion, the majority opinion, the dissenting opinion, because that's going to be a pretty tenacious legal argument. In terms of like politically or ethically, I guess I'm kind of against it. I think that I just don't like the way that all of it ends up playing out in a political sense, and then I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anything that like restricts Americans' rights to vote on a particular leader, I just don't know how I feel about that. Like even the age limit for the president, even term limits for the president they're very interesting questions. I could be argued either way. I don't feel strongly on it, but it's like, yeah, like, well, what if you want to vote on a president for 3 terms? Do the American people not have the right to do that? Or what if you want to vote on a president who's 33 years old? Do the American people really not have a right to do that? We can't. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
A bit of one and bro. It was the and for the. I bid you farewell. May the good.
Is there a link between ADHD and obesity? Yeah, I think there is a very strong link, actually. ADHD, obesity, because impulse eating and everything is, I'm pretty sure. Individuals with childhood ADHD have significantly higher BMI and obesity rates than those without. So the obesity rates, if I'm just reading this like right off the top here, 41.4% versus 21.6%. That's pretty significant. And then the BMI looked like it was about 2.5 points difference between
Forbidden
ADHD and
Woods. This is literally the worst section of this video game. Fucking annoying.
My friend said that she can't hang out because she's on her period, but I checked her cycle tracking app, and I think she's lying. What should I do?
Fucking retard.
Go out to eat with her and offer her a tampon, and when she doesn't take it, like, you fucking lying bitch. I knew you were lying. Put it in right now. Show me your old one. Okay, stop doing this. Okay. What is this? Okay. Oh, shit, Cake. We got a new guy. Some guy. People always email me for jobs. Guys, I'm never giving you jobs. I'm pretty handy with video editing, software and mobile app development, and I'm even a trained Scrum Master. Oh shit. One critique from yesterday's stream is you went on to say if detractors make claims about your relationship, ask for receipts, but then you make multiple claims with no proof yesterday. I'm talking about like in personal settings. I'm talking about like other people that have heard things, not to the public. I'm not going to start dumping receipts for all the parts of my relationship. My frustrating is when mutual friends or other streamers hear things and they don't ask for receipts. After you fucking, I don't have anything to prove with you guys. Although if other people are making aggro claims against me, the only time I think receipts need to come out in a public setting when two people are fighting with each other is when there's an obvious disagreement over, or if somebody like accuses somebody of lying or something. Wait, oh shit. The courts held up in the face of the election fraud cases or crazies and Epstein. Trust the institutions; they work greater than the social media would let you believe. The office president needs to be a standard which we can respect, and so should suffer consequences. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm just saying that like right now, this Section 13 thing, it's not like a, oh well, the courts have integrity. It's like this is a novel legal argument that has not really been made like this, I think, ever really in the history of the United States. Comparing it to the Civil War stuff, I don't think is the same. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, 23 emails left. Hold on. Popular video listings. 161. Hi, I am blank blank. Guess you're not reading. Is this? Am I crazy or does this person look like Darius? Thought some people ordering well done steak? Oh shit. Oh, she didn't do it. Somebody. Dude, I went through. If anybody, listen. Let me just say this, okay? I just want to say this, okay? All the stories that I say on stream are actually completely fabricated. I sit at my house all day and I masturbate at night. That's all I do. So every time I bring up a girl or anything, I'm completely making this up, okay? Just so you guys know, okay? My body count is 7, okay? And that's because I paid for 4 of them, okay? So that's step 1. Number 2, if you hear the story and it sounds like it might be about you, it's not, okay? I'm just making it up and I happen to stumble on something that maybe happened with you, but it's not. Okay, let me just say that again. But yes, I have random people do it. I think I'm with a girl to a super fucking delicious nice steakhouse. And she ordered a steak well done. This is like an $80 steak. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Where are we at? Oh, do you think this person looks like Darius? Am I crazy? A little bit? Or like Darius' brother? Or sister?
Oh, hello. What are you doing up here? Everybody's always talking about Joe Biden this and British monarchy that. Piers Morgan.
It kind of does. Shut the fuck up. Chat's trying to gaslight me. You guys are liars. Actual gaslighters. Okay. Anyway, around 300,000 subs, so it's not nothing cloud if we talk. I'm kind of known as a leftist-centered content. Why am I reading their email stream? Oh, should we listen to Dr.
He reacted to the topic of vaccines on middle.
Here, have Dr. Mike. He's babysitting your friend. Why?
Ground before, but now it's time to react about the question of whether or not being fat is a choice. It's gonna be a worthwhile watch. Let's get started.
Fat or skinny is a choice.
This is a very polarizing question. I think it's a false dichotomy. I don't think you have to say it's one thing or another, but their community seems to say that it's not a choice, so it's interesting.
Being skinny or being fat is about willpower, who you choose to associate with, what sort of things you choose to listen to, who you choose to kind of have as friends around you and support you. All of those things are choices that you can make.
Yeah, and you could easily point it in the other direction and talk about the genetic components, the importance of those who raised you and how they taught you to think about food, the way that the frontal lobe developed when you were a child, meaning that if you had higher exposure to fatty foods growing up or unhealthy foods or ultra-processed foods, you may have a preference for that. It's not as simple as just this choice.
Even with the genetics that cause you to want to eat more, the same solution is...
Oh shit, friend of the stream. That's it. People you're paying employees or independent contractors, ultimately, yeah, I would say you should be filing 1099 NECs or W2. Well, I know you have to file. I'm pretty sure you have to file W2s. But for 1099s, I found in the past that like sending 1099s is like a courtesy. Like if people don't send me a 1099, I still have to do my taxes, right? It feels like it doesn't matter, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
Calories in, calories out.
The calories in, calories out thing is true, but then there needs to be a little bit of nuance here.
Fuck, I went back really hardcore on different takes on this. You could probably find a video of me screaming in my apartment in Omaha, no, my house in Omaha, like 6 years ago, where initially I'm like, you know, different foods are really important, blah, blah, blah. And then I think for a couple years I was on the big, like, Kaiko, is that what it is? Or is that what I call Dan? Calories in, calories out. I don't know why you'd say it, but like CIC or whatever, right? Where it's like, this is the only thing that matters, this is blah, blah, blah. Like, everything else is irrelevant. Like, you have to, like, do this, you know, calories and calories are the only thing that matters. But then, like, I think when you get a little bit further along, it's like, okay, well, you know, actually, calories in, calories out is reductionist to the point of like absurdity because there are so many different ways that food like makes you feel. You know, like again, if you give somebody 300 calories of grilled chicken versus 300 calories of croissant, one of these things is going to probably leave you full for several hours or a few hours at least, and one of these is going to make you hungry immediately after. You know.
And that nuance is certain calories will lead you to metabolize foods differently. Certain calories will lead you to...
Wait, hold on. Can you explain what distinguishes you from a debate bro and whether you use the buzzword as a pejorative? I'd like to know what he thinks separates what he does, which he presumably considers to be debating, from what I do, which is debate bro brain. I suspect it'll end up with a dilemma. Either it won't apply to me, or it won't be bad. This can actually be framed with Abby's buzzword deconstruction argument for Israel-Palestine. Premise 1. If the buzzword is narrow, then the buzzword makes the situation wrong, but it's not clear the buzzword applies to the target situation. Premise 2. If the buzzword is not narrow, then it's not clear that the buzzword makes the situation wrong. Conclusion. Either it's not clear the buzzword applies to the target situation, or it's not clear that the buzzword makes the situation wrong. Say the buzzword is debate bro, rather than the standard Israel-Palestinian buzzwords. If debate bro just cashes out as rigorous or linear, then sure, it will apply to me, but then what's the problem exactly? If it cashes out to something like unfair, then it won't be true. I'll add, but I say this in defense of myself, not because I care about speaking to Destiny, I just don't like the things he throws at me. Using anti-intellectual buzzwords like debate bro, which in my experience are overwhelmingly used to shame rigor, is in my opinion, very cringe. So I actually, I wouldn't call him a debate bro, I call him a debate pedophile. No, I'm just kidding. All of this is stupid except the last line I think is actually true. And if you wanted to argue against me ever using the term debate bro, this is actually the best argument to use. Although I think generally when I use the term debate bro, I usually start qualifying it because I know how people use it. I think that some people do like
doo-doo.
Huh? I'm sure. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I think people do use debate bro in an anti-intellectual sense, right? As soon as somebody argues, or as soon as somebody is like, oh, well, I actually disagree on this. You're like, oh, you're a debate bro. Oh, you're a fucking debate bro. And it's like, what do you mean I'm a debate bro? Because we disagree? Because I want to argue about something? That's not what a debate bro is in Destiny lexicon, okay? Now, also, I think I would also agree, I think I would even agree with his syllogism here, right? I think syllogisms are usually, there's a particular format, premise 1, premise 2, conclusion. There's a way the premise, I think this counts as a syllogism. I'm just going to say syllogism because it sounds way smarter than argument, okay? I think I would even agree with the syllogism here that buzzwords are often just thrown at people to attack them, and they either don't apply or they're so narrow, it's like, well, what's the problem? So, like, yeah, I use the term buzzword, or I'm sorry, I use the buzzword debate bro, but I usually explain what I mean, and I'll explain again what I mean. Let's say that I'm at dinner, and let's say that I'm a vegan, and let's say somebody says something like, oh, I just got my dog home from the vet yesterday, I'm so glad that they're okay, and they order, you know, like a double cheeseburger or something, you know? I might see that as a vegan, and maybe I'm eating, you know, my delicious tofu-infused portobello mushroom buffalo sandwich or some shit. I don't fucking know, okay? I'm eating my food, and I might say something like this, because what he says bothers me, okay? And I might say something like this. I might say, do you ever wonder sometimes that when you get your dog home and you hug and pet them or whatever, do you ever think you might feel differently about, like, cows or sheep or pigs or whatever if you saw them? Because I noticed that, like, I mean, obviously we have disagreements in diet, but I see that you eat meat, you should have no problem with that.
Sheep is already
plural. Do you ever, like, does this bother you? Do you ever think about this? Or, like, what's your engagement with that topic? That would probably be, assuming I'm talking to, like, a very casual friend, that's probably how I would, like, bring that up. If, oh God, what's his name? I wanted to call him Ian. Ask Isaac. If Isaac was in my position, this is what would happen, okay? He would be with a casual friend in a restaurant, he'd see them order, they'd mention their dog, and then Isaac would go, well, actually, it's really interesting. Can you give me a single trait that would actually differentiate substantially the cow that you're consuming right now versus your dog? I'm just curious, what threshold could you set that would be so low that every single human would pass over the bar, but also so high that no animal would pass over it? I'm waiting for your response. Like, that would be the difference. So when I call Isaac a debate bro, what I'm saying is that he engages in an incredibly rigid, I would say a very rigid, aggressive form of argumentation that puts everybody like in ultra combat mode immediately, and I'm just not into it. Shit, hold on.
Just not into it, okay? Just not into it, okay?
Yeah, that's my issue with Isaac. I think there are even examples of him. I think we saw this. Like, he called into a show, and he started like down the name the trait debate path. But yeah, that's why. Yeah. Oh, and you also saw Isaac and Avi when they were talking to Anna in the Discord call over abortion, and it's just like, chill, like bring it way down. When I say debate bro, I'm more talking about hello? Hi? He did like the dad knock. Hold on. receipts for everything, okay? I haven't had a book to read since I did that Father Brown shit. I bought this public opinion book. I'll tell you what it is. This one. Shh, wish me luck. That one guy referenced it in that article and said it was an important book, so fuck. What is this? Hello? I love that like telemarketers now are using AI voices. Jesus. Lipman is one of the hardest writers to read. Wait, really? Is he a shitty writer? Oh no. Did I just waste my money on this book? I don't know if I can read stuff by shitty writers anymore. I'm just on page 94. Let me read a page. We'll see how it goes. Into almost every social problem, the proper calculation of time enters. Suppose, for example, it is a question of timber. Some trees grow faster than others, then a sound forest policy is one in which the amount of each species and of each age cut in each season is made good by replanting. Insofar as that calculation is correct, the truest economy has been reached. To cut less is waste, and to cut more is exploitation. But there may come an oh, this is what is this an econ called? Is this Pareto efficiency? I think. Is that what that's called? Pareto efficiency or something? But there may come an emergency, say the need for aeroplane spruce in a war, when the year's allowance must be exceeded. An alert government will recognize that and regard the restoration of the balance as a charge upon the future. Every time I see regard, I just think of retard now. Fucking Reddit has poisoned me. Coal involves a different theory of time because coal, unlike a tree, is produced on the scale of geological time. Supply is limited. Therefore, a correct social policy involves intricate computation of the available resources of the world, the indicated possibilities, the present rate of use, the present economy of use, and the alternative fuels. But when that computation has been reached, it must finally be squared with an ideal standard involving time. Suppose, for example, that engineers conclude that the present fuels are being exhausted at a certain rate, that barring new discoveries, industry will enter a phase of contraction at some definite time in the future. We have then to determine how much thrift and self-denial we will use after all feasible economies have been exercised, and in order to not rob posterity. But what shall we consider posterity? Our grandchildren? Our great-grandchildren? Perhaps we shall decide to calculate on 100 years, believing that to be ample time for the discovery of alternative fuels if the necessity is made clear at once. The figures are, of course, hypothetical, but in calculating that way, we shall be employing what reason we have. We shall be giving social time its place in public opinion. Let us now imagine a somewhat different case, a contract between a city and a trolley car company. The company says that it will not invest its capital unless it is granted a monopoly of the main highway for 99 years. In the minds of the men who make that demand, 99 years is so long as to mean forever. But suppose there is reason to think that surface cars, run from a central power plant on tracks, are going out of fashion in 20 years. Then it is a most unwise contract to make, for you are virtually condemning a future generation to inferior transportation. Making such a contract, the city officials lack a realizing sense of 99 years. Far better to give the company a subsidy now in order to attract capital than to stimulate investment by indulging a fallacious sense of eternity. No city official and no company official has a sense of real time when he talks about 99 years. Doesn't seem that bad. Doesn't seem bad at all. I think this might be an older book. Was this written in like year 1900 or some shit? Am I making that up? Or 1922? So maybe it's written a little bit older, but... Do you prefer physical books over Kindle? Kind of. I think it's fun to like wake up and then read in bed when you're in the habit of doing that. Destiny gathers all the Lorens, southern, eastern, western, and northern. He will become immortal. Destiny, what do I do if everything reminds me of her? Kaz, 1999. Stop stalking her social media, my dude. Classic literature, unfortunately. I think that we read quite a bit in my... It would have been AP English 3 and 4, so there's probably like an AP reading curriculum, but in the AP English 4 class, that was also a dual enrollment class, so there was just so much reading. Yeah, fuck all of it. Fuck all of it. Did you read The Stranger? Yeah. And Slaughterhouse 5. Cat's Cradle, the Kurt Vonnegut, those two. I think they're his two most popular. The Iliad and the Odyssey. I think like Gilgamesh, or excerpts from Gilgamesh. That was a big book. We didn't read everything in that book. Gilgamesh might have been one story. The Oedipus Guide, just a lot of like boring Greek shit. Honestly, anything written before the year, just... When was the first Harry Potter book written? Anything written before the year 1997 is just trash, okay? Do you like Kurt Vonnegut? I think everybody likes Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut was like your... Like, if Kurt Vonnegut was born in 1990, he would be like a 2010s, like, atheist Redditor. Kurt Vonnegut was cool, I think. Beowulf is so trash. I think especially because there was some... Was it Mel Gibson? No, it was, oh, God, the guy from Fight Club. I always call him Mel Gibson. No, not Brett Favre. How do I always fuck this guy's name up? The guy. Brad Pitt. Fuck me. The guy, wasn't there a movie with him killing, is it Medusa? I thought, like, all of Beowulf was going to be, like, Beowulf killing Medusa. But I think that's, like, one... Oh, God, bro, I'm testing my memory here. Maybe I never read this book.
Beowulf had nothing to do with Medusa. This is fucking retarded.
No, not Medusa. Cleopatra? Not Cleopatra. Not the... Isn't it the person that looks at the snake lady? Is that not Medusa? Who the fuck am I thinking of?
Yes, that's Medusa. Wrong mythology.
Doesn't Beowulf kill some bitch that, like, turns people into stone? Or is like a snake or some shit? Perseus? That's Greek? Is it? Beowulf kills Medusa? Okay, well, everybody in chat's making fun of me for that, so clearly... Oh, Grendel! Oh, that's it. Wait, what did Grendel do? Hold on, now I gotta look this shit up. 1 second. Fuck me. Oh, and Grendel is a guy. Bro, I don't remember this shit at all. Never mind. I just remember hating this fucking book. I feel like 1/4 of it was like killing this Grendel monster, and then the other 3/4 were just like the most boring fucking shit in the world. You're thinking of Grendel's mom? Am I? Grendel's mom. Oh. Grendel's mother is one of the three antagonists.
How are these guys so hard to fucking hit?
Does she turn people into stone? I don't remember.
Stone,
forget everything I said.
It turned me on.
All I remember is it being boring.
Walking to the brink of dawn.
Little bro just mad. Your mom thinks I'm handsome. Stalking Lameo. Good. Oh, here. Anyway, back to your babysitter.
Want to consume more.
Oh, homie probably think of a basilisk. Maybe? Bro, I don't even know actually. Now anything you say, I'm just like, oh yeah, that was it. I don't know. Okay. Fuck Beowulf.
More or less of a certain food, and certain calories can be
unhealthy. Of course,
you
just
for
can't
other
fucking
reasons.
get through that section without getting killed once. It's a fact.
Diets or heavily restrictive diets on this channel, because in many instances they actually create more problems like eating disorders, disordered eating, unhealthy habits, etc.
I was supposed to get blood tested probably when I was very young, and I never did. And they had mentioned that it could have been because of my weight and how that connects with my thyroid, and I never had like that leaning parent to be like, go and get checked out, go and do this, like, your weight is probably not your fault. It was always like...
Medusa turns people to stone for looking at her. She was defeated with a mirror. Wait, when was the first mirror invented? When was the first mirror invented? Hey, Destiny, you looking forward to dating as a single and having more independence with your time? Listen, I'm looking forward to being able to work more. 8,000 years old. Damn. Why did Koibu always say shit like mirrors were hard to make back in the day? They don't have that many of them. Fucking Koibs.
Because they were hard. Silver and glass.
Fucking liar. Okay, sorry. The SOC 119 professor you talked about Israel-Palestine for 1+ hour. Cool. Okay, have this.
Your weight is your fault, so that's your issue.
That's a...
Do you read any Russian literature? I need to start responding to chat. No, I don't think we read any Russian literature at all, actually, which was strange. But that must not have been on any of the AP rubrics, I guess. Not, at least not that I can remember. So, Dostoevsky, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tolstoy, are any of these people? No. I listened to Tchaikovsky, the romantic composer in my music school, if that counts.
Not your fault. It could have been because of my weight and how that connects with my thyroid. And I never had like that leaning parent to be like, go and get checked out, go and do this. Like, your weight is probably not your fault. It was always like, your weight is your fault, so that's your issue.
That's an unhealthy mindset. If I have a patient that has not been worked up for a thyroid condition, for other reasons why someone may be carrying excess weight, we absolutely would check those things. If you have low thyroid hormone, we can give you thyroid hormone to boost those levels up.
I mean, I also struggle with, thyroid and my own blood issues. I'm not quite sure, but I do see an endocrinologist and I go see a doctor.
And that's not available to everyone in the United States, especially those who don't have health insurance or are underinsured. And some people are insured but don't have adequate transportation, or they don't have paid time off from work.
As a disabled woman, I can't do a lot of the things that people say, calories in, calories out, oh, you gotta go work out and exert it. I have to navigate weight differently. I have to look at it differently. My weight is the way it is because of medication, because doctors.
The only sad thing, I don't want to generalize to everybody, so I'll just say this probably applies to 95% of people. Also, I'm talking totally on my ass, so there's a study you want to link that I'm incorrect on this, go for it. I'm pretty sure that when you get people who run into disabilities, the reason why you end up having so much weight is because, one, now you've lost so much physical exertion, which is probably actually having a decent impact on your total calories expended for a day, and two, you also probably eat like dog shit. I see a lot of people in wheelchairs that are clearly obese, probably have other medical issues, parking up to restaurants, chowing down on a ton of horrible fucking food. Like, it's pretty unlikely. Like, you can be physically disabled or crippled, a nice way of saying that. Like, you can't walk, and you can still eat like a healthy diet and try to like manage your weight and everything. Like, I would be surprised if this person was this weight purely because of endocrinological reasons, and they actually like moderate their diet or they eat. And it's really not even about. Here's like one thing. Here's one thing I would say too. I wish that people focused less on dieting, like restricting calories, and more just like on food choices. I think if you make better food choices, I think a lot of the calorie stuff, I don't want to say it fixed itself completely, but a lot of it can start to come out of control. At least from an outrageous level. But this person, I doubt they do that. But I don't know what I want to say.
Put me in this position.
This is why the false dichotomy pops up in my head. If you're going to be very stringent and saying being overweight is a choice, full on, you're neglecting a significant part of the population who may be having a...
Isn't that just another way of saying dieting? No, because I think people will focus more on calories than like satiety. Satiety? There's a word I'm looking for there. Satiation? Like, people focus on sometimes like the wrong things, I think, yeah.
Side effect of a medication, because there's many medications that we could put patients on to protect their health that as an unwanted side effect they put on weight, or they aren't able to lose weight as easily. And then there's those with disabilities that can't burn calories as easily as some who are able-bodied. So I think probably even a better conversation to be had here is
like, even that, I'm not sure if that's like a good way to say it. Like, and I understand he's being simplistic because he's right. We are the real Dr. Streams, right? But there is no medication that makes you put on weight. That's impossible. You would have to pack in 50,000 calories into a pill to make you put on weight. There might be medications that increase your appetite. There might be medications that make you retain more water. There might be medications that have like weird, down-regulating effects, or other things like your thyroid that make you more lethargic and consume less calories, etc. Like, I think it's probably important that if you take a medication that impacts your weight, you should understand how it impacts it. The pill itself will never add weight to you. It just doesn't work that way. But it's doing other things to your body that can make you add or gain, or add or lose weight. But I think it's important to understand why that's happening so that you can deal with it, right? Aren't there meds that fuck up your metabolism? Probably not very significantly, but if they do, those are going to be paired with other effects too, right?
As easily. And then there's those with disabilities that can't burn calories as easily as some who are able-bodied. So I think probably even a better conversation to be had here is obesity a disease? The AMA and all the major organizations have made it a disease process. They've labeled it a disease. The doctors who are saying that that's not helpful are usually pointing out that when a patient feels obesity a disease, they feel powerless to make the...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the big problem with the issues. Like, calling things a disease, in my opinion, there's a world where calling obesity a disease is actually a really, really, really positive and good thing. But the problem is, especially with how we glorify mental illness now, like on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, now I'm not too sure if it's good to have a disease, because like remember, diseases are, it's good to call something a disease because when you identify something as a disease, you're saying, here's a problem, and this is a known problem, and here are pathways that you can go down to fix it. That's why a disease is good. You have XYZ disease or condition. Here are ABC treatments, cures, ways to manage it. But it feels like today, at least with mental illness, people will drop a disease and they don't actually manage it at all. Oh, I have ADHD, but it's my superpower. I don't do anything about it. Oh, I'm autistic. I need the entire world to cater me. Oh, I've got CPTSD and I've never gone to therapy for it before, except one time to say I have it. And I don't do anything to manage it, so I need the whole world to give me trigger warnings. Oh, I have, BPD. I got whatever. Like, it's like, okay, wait, what the fuck? So if that's your approach to having a disease, where you just like say that you have it and then you expect everybody to cater to you and you don't actually do anything about it, well, when the obesity disease was like, oh yeah, I also have obesity. It's a disease. What am I supposed to do, right? No, motherfucker. When you have a disease, the whole point is to identify it so that you can do something about it, right? If you treat obesity as a disease, right, then you take the appropriate steps to remedy that disease. Diabetes, type 1 or type 2, is a disease. You modify your diet accordingly. Obesity should be the same way. But a lot of people, yeah, it feels like that disease thing becomes a crutch or disempowering or robs you of agency. I just said the same thing 3 times, Tim.
Usually pointing out that when a patient feels obesity disease, they feel powerless to make the change. The way that I like to think about it is on a population level, it's certainly a disease because it affects our bodies negatively. It's certainly contributing to a public health epidemic. It's actually happening pandemic really across the world, obesity. On an individual level, we need to have providers who have good relationships with their patients to make the call. Is this something that I can present to my patient as a choice that will get them motivated? Or is this something that we can help them navigate through a medical perspective where we can give them medications, surgeries, maybe lifestyle modifications if they are going to be motivated to it, and make that call on an individual level. But again, all medicine is practiced on population-based information and the research that we have there. And then we as providers have to look at our patients as individuals and apply that knowledge. So I still think on a population level, it is a disease. And then how we attribute it to each patient and how we help each patient navigate their condition, that's going to be different. And that's okay.
I would rather be...
It's also difficult because obesity is like, when you go to a doctor, remember, doctors, the goal of a hospital, I think some physicians fought me on this last time, and I don't give a fuck. I'll keep fighting because I think my analogy works well, and fuck you guys. You go to a hospital so that you can be not sick. That's all hospitals do. Hospitals are not there to make you healthy. Hospitals are there to make you not sick. So they manage symptoms or they cure diseases or illnesses. But when we talk about obesity, we're really talking about like comprehensive lifestyle changes to make you healthier. And hospitals can't really do that unless some dipshit KKMD or someone wants to fight me like, well, what about physical therapy and blah, blah, blah. Even that's just to get your body back to ordinary, right? Nobody goes to physical therapy to learn how to deadlift 5 plates, right? Nobody goes to physical therapy to get their bench finally to 315 with no shoulder pain, right? You go to physical therapy to learn to walk again or to be able to bend your arm or your shoulder after like catastrophic injuries, you know? Yeah.
Skinny, thin, fat.
I think there's a lot of different struggles when it comes to being a bit bigger. I have a sister, she's 400 pounds, and she struggles a lot. She has lymphedema, and to shower is really, really...
Isn't that mostly just because doctors try to make people healthy, but their patients don't want hard answers? They want an easy pill to take? A little bit. I mean, like, doctors will always give you generic advice, but like anytime, if you go in with a heart problem to a doctor, every single doctor, I'm sure Avi would say this, I'm sure KKMD in my chat would say this, every doctor is going to tell you, hey, you know, maybe eat a little bit less and exercise a little bit more. Every doctor will give that advice, but like the patient, they don't want to hear that. Well, they know this. They already know this. Like they're looking for, I need you to give me a pill. I need you to do something. And also the doctor, because people will also say like, oh, doctors are just there to prescribe you medication and they don't care about your life. Well, yeah, that's what a doctor's job is. He's not a personal trainer, right? If every single time a patient with hypertension came in or high blood pressure came into the office and they're like, doctor, help me. And the doctor's like, well, listen, here's what I'm going to say, okay? It's called 531. Okay, just kidding. The doctor's not going to give you a workout plan, right? You would say, fuck you. I need a pill or medication. And also, if you are in the hypertension range, they have to give you a pill. You want to give them medication to bring that blood pressure down. Like, there's no reason not to. But then people are like, well, he gave me a pill instead of just telling me to diet and exercise. No, he's giving you a pill to manage your hypertension, but he also wants you to exercise and eat better so that he doesn't have to give you a pill in the future. But he can't control that, and he can't do anything about that. And doctors know that, and it's frustrating, yeah. Because then people will run to Reddit saying, like, oh, doctors just want to prescribe medication and they don't actually care about anything. It's like, bro, what, is he supposed to go home and babysit you? What do you mean? Like, your doctor doesn't want you to be fucking fat and out of shape and blah, 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 blah. Or maybe some do, you know?
Hard. So I do think for her, I have a sister, she's 400 pounds, and she struggles a lot. She has lymphedema, and
to shower is really, really hard. So I do think for like an overall happy life and like zero struggle, I think I'd rather be skinny.
I think what we're pointing out here is something that I frequently talk about this channel when people in the past have accused me of being fat phobic, where I'm aiming to not just prolong my patient's life and decrease their risk of disease, but also improve their quality of life. And that's exactly what she's talking about here. Being able to be independent, being able to wash yourself, have less strain on your knees, on your hips, developing arthritis early, which means that you can't exercise or move up and down on stairs in your home. And I think saying I would rather be skinny than fat doesn't mean necessarily that you hate yourself if you are in fact plus size. If you're seeking to improve because you're constantly unhappy with yourself, that might be an unhealthy coping mechanism. But if you're seeking to improve because you're seeking growth and you see it from a positive aspect rather than a hate aspect, then that could be a very healthy mechanism.
I had the most body insecurities when I was small. And rather than trying to control my body to avoid that negative attention, I would prefer to address the situation as a society. We aren't feeling like I have to be a certain way that's normal in order to be treated like a human being and respected.
One of the big takeaways from her sentence.
Also, this is also something that's very, very, very irritating, okay? And also, like, people will say this, okay? Just because somebody is skinny doesn't necessarily mean they're healthy. Just because somebody is fat doesn't necessarily mean they're not healthy, okay? While these two statements are true, being fat in and of itself is a massive health issue. Full stop. It is possible to be overweight and healthier than somebody that's underweight. It's also possible that my kid's mom, when she had stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma, she was probably healthier than a lot of other people that didn't have cancer because she ran around a lot. She was like decently in shape. She was like all healthy in every other way except for the stage 4 cancer. But like to say that like you can have massive cancer and still be healthier than other people, it just is. It's like it's true, but not the point. Being obese is bad, period. Yeah, you can be obese and be healthier than other people who aren't obese, but the obesity part is bad. Even being overweight, arguably, depending on how you put the weight on and everything, can be bad. But yeah, it's just such a weird and bizarre and stupid statement to make. And when I hear statements like this a lot, it kind of is annoying. Yeah, because it's not. You're missing the point, and it's misleading and dumb, I think.
There is that she talks about how we need to address this from a societal perspective. That's absolutely true. With the way our current society is fed, with the food products that are allowed in our system, the ultra-processed foods being more readily available and cheaper than true whole food healthy products, food deserts, areas where there's not enough access to good quality foods. All of those things matter. Now, the medical perspective has probably gotten more of a highlight with medications like Ozempic and the GLP-1 agonists because that is more of a financial incentivized way of treating our obesity epidemic. It's much with things, food deserts, areas where there's not enough access to good quality foods. All of those things matter. Now, the medical perspective has probably gotten more of a highlight with medications like Ozempic and the GLP-1 agonists because that is more of a financial incentivized way of treating.
While this is true, again, I don't like how unfairly we treat pharmaceuticals. And I know even that word says a shiver up your spine. Pharmaceuticals, the evil guys, right? Just because pharmaceuticals are now incentivized for a medical prescription or whatever, because there's a medication that might be efficacious in combating obesity or being overweight, there is a whole industry built around weight loss. When people come out and like, oh, well, now the pharmaceutical companies are involved in monetizing obesity. Bro, pretty sure it's like a tens of billions of dollar industry when it comes to weight loss stuff, whether we're talking about your gym memberships that get pushed, whether we're talking about bullshit health foods, whether we're talking about bullshit health drinks, bullshit health candy bars, bullshit health companies, there's like a billion things that are being monetized to make you lose weight. But nobody ever talks about those. But goddamn, as soon as pharmaceutical companies figure out a pill that might help you lose weight, now all of a sudden, like, oh, you're trying to monetize on obesity, that's fucking evil. Bro, what about I was gonna say Fresh and Fitness. What about like fucking 24-hour fitness or all these gyms that will sell you like 52 gym memberships like secretly under your account? Like, bro, so many people capitalize on obesity and try to make money off of people's like obesity and shit. But like nobody's ever gonna say like gyms are evil, you know? I don't know.
treating our obesity. And it's much better to create a medication that you can make billions of dollars on than it is to create a sustainable change in our society that will lead to people losing weight.
I don't know where I want to be at the appropriate weight level, but I think it's important to understand for some skinny people, we're not living a great life.
Nobody is talking about this. Again, I don't know why people say this. I don't know why people bring this up. It's not relevant. Skinny and obesity are not on a it's like saying like it would be like putting vegan and AIDS on the same scale, right? Like, okay, sure, people with AIDS might have a lot of health problems, or I'll say people with HIV might have a lot of health problems, but you know, like vegans have health problems too. Okay, that's true, but there's zero relationship between these two things. Being obese is bad, period. Like, absent anything else, it's just bad. Even if you're healthy in every other way, being obese is bad. It's not good. Comparing it to people that are normal weight, they could have other health problems, but their problem is not the weight. Unless you literally have an eating disorder, or you literally are underweight and you're starting to like not have enough fat reserves to run your brain or to have hormone regulation or whatever. But otherwise, just being skinny or being normal weight is that's not a health issue. Being obese is. Just because you're normal weight doesn't mean your health is perfect. Nobody's even saying that. Nobody's made that argument. Yeah. Ugh.
And sometimes I feel like that's always kind of lost in translation when they see somebody really skinny.
Well, I think that goes to show that no matter what a person looks like, you can't know what they're going through. This is why, as a doctor, you have to walk into a room with a blank slate and not judge people, but at the same time be able to stereotype certain conditions in the sense of, okay, you're having symptom X, Y, and Z. That frequently, stereotypically, happens in condition X. So I'm going to try and rule out condition X. So there is some stereotyping you're doing in order to come to a diagnosis, but then you don't want to stereotype the person's behavior or their appearance. And it's very important to distinguish between positive stereotyping in healthcare and negative stereotyping in healthcare.
This is probably true, to where people will go to the hospital and maybe a person has been fat for 15 years and then like all of a sudden they have a headache. I'm exaggerating. They have a headache and they go to the hospital, or they've been getting migraines and the doctor's like, well, it's probably because you're overweight. And it's like, okay, motherfucker, listen, okay? I'm 5'9", I'm 260 pounds. I know that I'm overweight. I've been overweight 15 years. There's a new problem, just popped up. My weight hasn't changed, right? This is a frustrating thing that different classifications of ill people can go through. Women can have this for a variety of reasons. I think black people get treated differently sometimes for a variety of reasons. And then people with certain pre-existing conditions can run into this. You would know this if you watched House. Dr. Mike Isertel is the best weight loss advice. I'm down almost 25 pounds following his videos and using chronometer. Visible abs are emerging. Wow. I wonder what his advice is. It looks like he's a DO, and they're trying to take a more holistic approach to medicine rather than just a scientific one. What is a DO? Doctor of Orange. DO. Doctor. Doctor of osteopathic medicine? Is medical director for... Is that what this is? Oh. I thought that most medicine was kind of trying to be a bit more holistic. The problem is that, like, with a lot of holistic medicine, though, I think people just... I feel like people just want to go to the hospital and get a pill and fix their shit. I think that's the issue. Like, people don't want to hear holistic shit. They just want the thing that's going to fix everything.
Both truly exist.
America has an obesity problem.
I think we have a problem with how to treat obesity. I think we have a problem with how to make it so that it is not an epidemic. This is a systemic thing, that we are in a society and in an environment that breeds this. And we are doing it to ourselves, we are doing it to our children, and our corporations and our industries are doing it to us, and they aren't having to take responsibility.
This is true. The one thing that I have to point out is that this is...
This is true. This is true. But it's at ends with her well, no, is it really at ends with anything she said? No, probably not. Yeah. I agree that what she's saying is 100% true. But then, like, as long as we, gotcha. But then we have to acknowledge that it's a problem. We need to change those things.
It's a worldwide problem. as we have more access.
Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to spend much time on this, okay? Being overweight has a lot of correlated lifestyle factors that are also known to be generally unhealthy, being sedentary, drinking, eating sugar, etc. Saying the weight itself is an issue is a major stretch. Just having, I think, like visceral fat that I think men tend to put on that kind of like hog up space around organs and stuff, just that is a net negative. Being overweight, controlling, I'm pretty sure for every other part of your life, massively predisposes you for type 2 diabetes. I'm almost positive that's a fact. Cardiovascular health will suffer. Joint strength, if you're overweight or obese, your ability to walk and run is compromised. Hormones get fucked up. Like, even if you control for everything else, being obese, period. Like, if you take an obese person and then they live a perfect lifestyle and they're still obese, they will still have bad healthcare outcomes. Being obese, period, is a bad thing. It's just bad. It's not just the things that go along with the lifestyles that make you obese. Just being obese is bad. I'm super serious about that, okay? Have you ever heard of a meth user with diabetes? What are Big Pharma not telling us? One of the most interesting studies I read, because I did a whole bunch of research on stimulant medications and all this shit. And I had a few doctors email me a bunch of like packets on like stimulant, which I thought was interesting. Apparently there's research out there that shows that, let's see if I can remember this. People that abuse, so not prescribe it, people that abuse methamphetamines, if they get into car accidents, have big accidents, I think they have, what is this? It's like a thicker part of their, something to do with their cerebral spinal columns, or there's some part of your brain that actually thickens or gets stronger if you like abuse meth. Let me see if I can find this actually. Brain, no, it would be like brain injuries, amphetamine. I think this has been observed a lot. It's very interesting. Bro, I hate that every time I look up anything related to like suicide or drugs, I get all these stupid fucking government lines. Meth exposure can cause substantial damage to the brain by causing both apoptic and necrotic cell death in the brain. Fuck, this is what I'm looking for. It's traumatic brain injuries. Fuck. Somebody go find this. I believe you guys can do it. Cortex, you fuck. Meth, amphetamine. MD student here. DO and MD degrees are about the same. Pre-med students with lower MCAT scores tend to be in the DO category. However, they get the same training and they learn osteopathic manipulation, which is really superfluous in the clinical setting. Both tend to take a holistic approach, but also rely on evidence-based medicine. I'm not gonna be able to find this. Fuck. It's out there. You guys go look for it, okay? A lot of skinny Asians have diabetes. Wait, hold on. A lot of skinny Asians have diabetes, strangely enough. I think they're the highest rates of diabetes. Okay, I'll Google this, but I'm pretty sure that the #1 thing associated with type 2 diabetes, I believe, is obesity, like BMI. I'm pretty sure. We can check. I could be wrong. What is the most common correlation, comorbidity? Because obesity would be considered comorbidity, right? Comorbidity, type 2 diabetes. When a person has 2 or more chronic conditions, a doctor may refer to these conditions as comorbid. A person with type 2 diabetes is more likely to develop comorbidities, such as heart disease, sleep disorder. Fuck. Hypertension, no, show me the #1. Hospital living in most hard areas had over 1 comorbidity present at the time of diagnosis, compared with the most affluent areas. Depression, prevalence increased in all strata. Okay, well, yeah. Look up comorbidities of obesity. Well, but that wasn't the claim I'm making. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive the #1 thing, if you take a population and you can just change one thing to make them a type 2 diabetic, the thing you would change would be, I think, their weight, because that would be the #1 thing to get you there. Largest risk factors, type 2 diabetes. I believe that's the case, but let's check. Maybe I'm wrong. Nice spelling. Mayo Clinic. neurotoxic, neuroprotective effects of methamphetamines are being studied. There are a few studies evaluating the effects of meth on patients with traumatic brain injuries. The objective is to compare clinical outcomes after TBI and meth versus non-meth users. Meth patients were younger upon presentation, 43.5 versus 55.8, with a larger improvement in GCS and GOS upon discharge. There's no significant difference in length of hospital stay. Yeah. Okay, this might have been the stuff I was looking at, which is interesting. That, like, meth confers, if you abuse it, apparently has some positive effects on traumatic brain outcome. I don't know how or why or what the underlying mechanism is, but... Type conditional, okay. Can I find the symptoms, risk factors, causes? Being overweight or obese is a main risk. There's no percentage here? You know, all these tiny islands have the highest obesity rates. Does he think he has diabetes? Me? Definitely not. I've only lost like 2 toes. It's 90%. Read this link. Oh, well, look, we know where these are. Wait, we know where this is. We know where the Marshall Islands is. Tuvalu. Why are these also obese? What the fuck? Tonga. Oh, no. This. Oh, yeah. Tonga. Micro dicks. We know these. Wait, why are these also fat? The fuck? What does diabetes mean for a person's quality of life? My understanding is type 2 diabetes will reduce your lifespan on average by 10 years. Type 2 diabetes is a very, very, very serious condition, and it's kind of treated as like a joke. Like it's like a meme. Like if you had to choose between having type 2 diabetes versus AIDS, no, I keep saying AIDS, versus HIV, HIV destroys in every size, shape, and form. Type 2 diabetes is so unbelievably destructive. Aside from like all the issues with like weight and hypertension and cardiovascular disease, which is the #1 killer of people in the world, I believe, or at least in the West, or at least in the United States, you also run into issues relating to, I believe it's called diabetic neuropathy, where high levels of glucose in the bloodstream will start to destroy certain parts of the body. This is why people with type 2 and type 1 diabetes will have eye problems. Their eyes will slowly get eaten away and degenerate. Toes and fingers, extremities can start to get eaten away, and you have to get them amputated and shit. Like, it's, they're just... Having high levels of glucose in the bloodstream is just like toxic to every single part of your body. It's so bad. It's so bad. Their ankles and everything. It could be, the pain can be agonizing. Like, you run into issues with a lot of your organ systems. Yeah, kidneys and liver. Like, it's just so bad. It's so bad. Why do I care about this? I don't care about this. Okay. Okay. Interesting video on Nauru, the fattest place on Earth. Microvascular issues, if you're curious. I got a huge vascular, so I don't know anything about that. Does alcohol consumption contribute to diabetes? My understanding is not much or no, but alcohol consumption can be very fatty, so be careful about that. Or not fatty, there could be a lot of calories depending on what you drink.
In Thailand.
Oh wait, this could be our next babysit video actually. Hold on. Oh yeah. Managing obesity in people with type 2 diabetes. Obesity is a modifiable risk factor in the development of type 2 diabetes mellitus? I don't know how to pronounce this. Mellitus? The prevalence of both increasing worldwide. This trend is associated with increasing mortality, cardiovascular risk, and healthcare costs. An individual's weight will be determined by complex physiological, psychological, and societal factors. Assessment by a skilled multidisciplinary team. Why am I reading this? Being overweight or obese is a key modifiable risk factor in the development of diabetes, with 90% of patients with diabetes being classified as overweight or obese. 90%. That's probably, what, 20 points over the ordinary population? Low-calorie diet programs have been shown to support remission of diabetes and are currently being piloted throughout the UK. I've heard this before. I don't know if there's strong research to suggest that you can reverse insulin resistance with certain types of diets or by losing weight. Maybe that's the case. I don't know if there's been strong evidence, but the problem is also once you become obese, it's so hard. I read this stat once from a large story that we'd read, and I keep reciting it, even though I can't find a study to support it. So maybe it's not true. Giving you a heads up. Like I remember reading in this one story that of all the people that become obese, of all those people that die, only 3% will ever go back to being within an ordinary BMI range. So from obese to normal, 3%. It's like, it's so hard to go from obese to ordinary weight. And if you have done it, good for you. Is this the Biggest Loser study? I don't believe so. I think this is a larger article that I read. What about overweight? Overweight, it can mean a lot of different things. Overweight on the BMI thing could be not mattering that much to kind of mattering a lot. It just depends. On the very lower end of overweight, you can find people that have a lot of muscle, people that work out a lot, and you can find people that put on weight like pretty well. It just kind of depends. I think that I'm spitballing a lot here. I might remember, but I think men in general put on weight in a very bad way. I know it's true for me and my dad. Like if I gain weight, almost every pound I get is going to like it's like upper thighs and belly. So like. And belly area, abdominal area, I think this is considered visceral fat, and it fucks with your organs. So if you're not that muscular and you're a man and you're 2 or 3 points into the overweight section, that fat is probably pretty bad for you because all of it is like clustered around your organs and like squeezing them, and it's just bad for you. I think this is called it's called visceral fat. Is hidden inside your body on and around your vital organs. Visceral fat can cause health issues such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. Visceral fat is caused by eating more calories than you burn and not moving enough. Yeah, and some people, put it on there a lot. I don't know why. My understanding is there's a large difference in racial groups for how bad being overweight is, as well, and likely that some racial groups recommend healthy BMI should be different. That could be the case too. That probably gets into uncomfortable areas, but that could be the case. Yeah, because there are certain demographics of people who, well, demographics, broadly speaking, probably. Like I would imagine for women, this is. We're in imagination land, okay, being clear. I don't know if this is medically true, but I imagine like if you're a woman and when you put on weight, your boobs get huge and your ass gets big, you can probably gain a bit of weight and be okay. Whereas if you're a woman, when you put on weight, if it all goes to your stomach and you've got like, the UFO thing going on and it's like that visceral fat and other stuff isn't growing, that's probably more unhealthy. I searched Google for obese to normal weight and the answer was 1 in 100.
Is driving our
kind of why Boogie was on T-Booster, the weight on the liver. Nice donation and good sentence. Strong sentence.
What the fuck?
At Destiny, have you ever come across the hypothesis espousing that populations which haven't evolved with sugar-rich diets are the most affected by the high sugar density in modern diets? This has been used as an explanative factor in obesity rates among Samoans or even African Americans. Maybe, but I'm not sure. I don't know how much dietary evolution could happen in 10,000 years of human development. Because my understanding is access to sugar-rich or high-calorie diets with little effort didn't really happen until the advent of agriculture, which was about 10,000 years ago. I don't know if 10,000 years is enough generation to see like significantly different evolutions of like sugar tolerance or weight or whatever. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not sure. How long is an average? What does a generation count as? Would you say 20 years on average? 20 to 30 years? 10,000 divided by 25 would be about 400 generations. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's probably going to depend on it's going to depend on a lot. A lot. Highly polygenetic traits, which would mean a trait that has many different genes influencing them, and then the other parts of your body that those genes are encoding for, It could be the case that developing different sugar tolerances genetically is actually unbelievably simple, and you could see a difference emerge in like 100 generations or less because of just how the genes that code for it are easily changeable and they don't affect genetic things. Or it could be a trait that's literally like impossible because like the genes that code for it also influence like protein development in some like vital way that would destroy you. So it's hard for me to say. I don't know the genes of all motherfuckers.
Guys, this is Batman.
Goddamn scientist. I'm just a coomer.
Say hello, Batman. Batman.
Andrew Schultz and Akash Singh are some of the biggest snakes on YouTube. Fuck them and their whole team at Flagrant. Damn. What are these guys mad about?
Batman.
I haven't followed any of this at all.
Batman.
Is from Fresh. I ain't gonna lie, my man's from Fresh and Fit was like, yo, damn, man, that dude still hating on us,
buddy.
Wait, what's up with Fresh?
I always wanted to see your butthole.
They coolin'.
But are they still doing the pod?
Yeah, of course, you mean still doing it. You're not watching?
I didn't know that they're still doing the pod.
Where can you think they died?
No, I don't know. Maybe
they got demonetized. You know, it was a minor setback for a major comeback.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, don't laugh like that. That was disrespectful.
No, but tell us. So what's going on? Like, are they still? But they're still doing the pod.
They're still doing the pod, man.
That's
you know,
fire,
they got some different.
Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. This is so minor. Okay. It's so minor. This is so minor. This is so minor. Also, I haven't watched the rest of this clip, so everything I say might be irrelevant, okay? But, okay, listen, all right? Myron is a respectable man, okay? Even if he is all our discounts respectable man, everything I've seen of DJ Ack, and I'll say it, he is too. It's so easy to be around people and to kind of like, somebody says something, you make fun of like a friend or whatever, and you kind of just like laugh along with them because it's whatever, you know? DJ Ack doesn't do that. He's just like, whoa, no disrespect, no disrespect. He says that. It's a minor thing, but I appreciate it a lot. I mean, it's not talking about me, but like, I think it's like, that's a masculine behavior. That's a manly behavior. Surrounded by a lot of peer pressure, a lot of other guys laughing. Friends like, hey, no disrespect. I think that's cool. I appreciate that. I respect that a ton. Because it would be so easy for him to just laugh along here, you know? But for him to like have a strong stance, I appreciate that.
What you mean still doing it? You're not watching?
I didn't know that they're still doing the pod.
Where can you think they died?
No, I don't know. Maybe
they got demonetized. You know, it was a minor setback for a major comeback.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, don't laugh like that. That was disrespectful.
No, but tell us. So what's going on? Like, are they still? But they're still doing the pod.
They're still doing the pod, man.
That's
you know,
fire,
they got some different monetization strategies. You know,
what else are they working on? What's their different monetization strategies?
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what's their different monetization strategies?
Nah, hold on, man. I don't like how y'all. I feel like y'all been.
You brought him up.
Oh, see, look, he's even doing it even more, bro. This guy is. This is like such a bro. This is like such a cool thing to do. I respect this. It's really hard to find content creators that will go on other, especially if this is like a clouded up show. I don't know if the show is like really clouded up or whatever, but.
I ain't bring him up. You brought him up. Don't be upset at us for shit you bring up.
Y'all praying on my man's downfall.
Praying on downfall. You asked me if we watched their podcast. I'm a point.
Oh, now these guys are doing the. I'm getting into the habit of saying stuff. I call the behavior effeminate, okay? But because I shouldn't. It's just anybody can do this. But this like, whoa, what? We weren't making fun of them or anything. Like no, whoa, bro. Like we were never right. And like, bro, just own it. Obviously, you hate Fresh and Fit. Obviously, you want their shit to get fucked. Like, just own it. I don't know why you would do this and not just own it, right? Like, if I'm laughing at some shit, like, wait, why are you laughing that these guys are like, because I fucking hate them. I hope they fuck up, right? Like when the meme ticks guy is like, I heard that he said I should kill himself. Yeah, I did, and I still am saying that. Yes, of course. What do you mean? Like, if you're gonna say something, just own it. Why be so pussy about it here? Jesus, what do you think? Is Big Ack gonna beat all four of you up? Like, come on, dude. I think that's cringe. I hate it when people do this.
20-year-old man who's happy. Why would I watch that podcast?
We're all married, bro. We're all married. I only watch it when I'm fighting with my wife. I'll be like, these guys get me. These guys understand, bro. They understand women.
4 days every month that I watch that shit probably.
Isn't he friends with Myron? Isn't that just a loyalty thing they all do? No, that's not usually what people do. Even if they're friends with you, because you watch Sneeko do this to me a million times. Well, Sneeko is an exceptionally weak human, though. But even for like ordinary people or for men or whatever, usually when you're around other people and they're making fun of friends, there's a whole bunch of peer pressure to kind of like just like laugh along. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're kind of goofy, yeah, whatever, right? Usually that's like the peer pressure, especially if you're around other content creators or especially if they're super clouded up. Like that's just like the peer pressure is always there to do that. For a Big Act to like be like, hey, no, I don't think that's cool or whatever, that takes a lot. That's a really hard thing to do. It's a really hard thing to do. Sorry, okay, I'm done slurping, okay? No more dick riding, okay?
Every month that I watch that shit probably. When you walk in the room. Yo, it hits on the red days. On the red days, you red day I'm red pill. No, but for real, can you still watch it? Do they have their own website or how do you watch it? It's on YouTube still. What do you think it's at? I thought the podcast got taken off YouTube. No, it got demonetized. That's the new way. What does that mean?
Bunker busters equal I've weaponeered these in literally every area. Yes, we use them in fucking cities, not open areas. 2,000 pound / dumb bombs equal yes, those are necessary. The use of delayed fusing. You drop it onto a building to drop the building or into the street to get into the tunnel. Plus, it isn't a dumb bomb from a World War II plane. It's either coming off a plane that calculates where it will land, or we attach a GPS guidance kit to them. Every nation uses them. The use of special forces equals Israel tried. I don't have anything public, but Gaza is literally a fortress even against fucking Russia. Sometimes like military people are like only shit. Very dry. 2 days ago, do this. Boom. No new mail. We did it. Yes. What is this? Okay. Alright. Put 30 more Discord messages in that time. But we finished our... We got through our emails. Destiny, just to be clear, Isaac wasn't in that abortion debate with Anna. No, it wasn't Isaac. It was Abby and... Who was the other guy? It was Abby and one other person. I can't remember who it was. Fuck. You're right. It wasn't Isaac. Who was it? Any insight into why Saudi Arabia negotiated a peace deal with the Houthi rebels in Yemen? What implications does it have with future peace with Israel? I have no idea. Doesn't Saudi Arabia fight in Yemen quite a bit, though? Isn't that whole place like a humanitarian fucking shit show? They probably just don't want conflict down there anymore. But I don't know enough about Saudi Arabian history or Yemeni history to tell you. Oh, it might have been Vegan Games and Abby, that's right. Myron, you are a sensitive, talentless, bottom-feeding grifter. Your life's work is renting women and regurgitating other people's talking points. Your arms are not developed enough for your shirts you wear, and your co-host is pimping you. Merry Xmas.
Got him.
Grifter, I've saved thousands of men from suicide, help them get in shape, invest to create wealth, attract their dream girls, and live better lives where you them. Be born with a silver spoon in your mouth and tell shitty jokes with your pussy co-host. We have the same platform size, and we have only been on YouTube for 3 years. Unlike you, we didn't have to suck any industry dick from Joe Rogan or Charlemagne to grow. Since my arms aren't developed, how about you stop doing the internet supplements and boxes? Oh, Myron, just stop with this one thing. Stop bringing this thing up. Let's see how many jokes you can make with a stand. Red pill guys, listen to me. And by red pill guys, I really only mean I think everybody else basically died off. You have to stop challenging people to fights, okay? Gotta stop doing it. Unless they're talking shit about like, oh, I could beat the shit out of him. Then you're clear. Somebody brings that out, like, oh, I could beat the shit out of this dude. Oh, then fine, put up or shut up. That's clear then, but okay.
As we have more access to food, and food is driving our happiness, and we are becoming more disconnected and more lonely, we seek food for comfort. And while companies certainly bear some share of the responsibility for making sure that they're not contributing to this problem, which they absolutely are, ultimately, it's not...
Am I too charitable, or is there a difference between boxing and a fight? Like, he's not challenging the guy to a street fight. Well, yeah, but they're not, it's not like these guys are seasoned boxers, and this is... Like, it makes... Like, challenging somebody to boxing is just a way... It's just like a... It's like a nice way of challenging somebody to a street fight, right? Because, like... You just want to fight, right? It's not like these guys are seasoned boxers and that's where their realm of expertise is, right? Like if me and like Moro or somebody got into a fight, that's a 15-year-old name, and he's like, and we're like, okay, well fuck it, 1v1, let's go, all right, let's throw up a game in like StarCraft 2, right? I'm only saying that because we're both like StarCraft 2 players, we're arguing about StarCraft 2, but like I'm not gonna, when you challenge random people to fights, it's like if you're both boxers and you're like, okay, well let's go, or if you're both like soccer players, if like Messi and I think of one other soccer player's name. Ronaldo? Those are two different people. The name's not like Ronaldo Messi, right? Those are two different people. If those guys were talking shit to each other and they wanted to like, well, fuck it, let's ball on the soccer football court or something. I don't know, then maybe, then they could go, yeah, that would make sense. But to just like challenge random people to fights is like, so. My opinion, Myron was being way too sensitive. If he gets triggered by the mild jokes in that clip, it seems kind of wild. I mean, yeah, he should just like talk a little shit and move on. The guys are clearly talking shit, so you talk a little shit and you move on. But yeah, when you're willing to dive down into like the pits of hell when somebody shits on you a little bit or shits on you a little bit, it makes you look a little bit unhinged. Yeah.
not as simple as saying, hey, company, don't...
If you ever have to name 3 soccer players, just say Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldo. Have you discussed the reason Finkelstein rejected a debate with you the second time? I don't know why. I have no idea.
Companies certainly bear some share of the responsibility for making sure that they're not contributing to this problem, which they absolutely are. Ultimately, it's not as simple as saying, hey, company, don't sell this product. It's easier said than done to villainize a corporation and then say at the same time, but it should be fair. How do we make that fair, that villainization?
And they're encouraging it with media. So
And the mukbangs, I was literally gonna bring that up. The mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to trends. For people
not
to do
only
it as
the
well.
mukbangs, but also like.
How much of your geography knowledge have you retained? I truly don't know. I've done it a long time now. Well, we'll throw up a 193 UN nations map after I finish going through my messages, okay?
Lizzo and other big.
And the mukbangs, I was literally gonna bring that up. The mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to trends. For people to do it.
Lauren is so fucking smug. Holy shit. Here is a thing. I don't know how to like critique this or say this. If you are a woman and you want to be taken seriously or you want to have arguments with people about like political or whatever shit, you have to find a way to ditch the valley. It just, even if you're not being smug, you sound so smug. And the problem is with people like Lauren and Pixie does this too. And I love them both to death, okay? I don't think either of them mean to try to sound smug. They're not like, they're not being like, I'm a condescending piece. But like, when you talk like this, and if you're not willing to acknowledge that, like when you have that tone, it just seems like you're so condescending. That's what it feels like. But I don't know how easy it is to like ditch that entire like dialect? Is that what you would call it? Dialect accent? You know? If somebody told me like, oh, you need to sound more like you're from New England, like I don't know what the fuck I don't know how the fuck I would change my shit. So it's probably pretty hard to do. Lauren kind of has a shit-eating grin a lot of the time too, which doesn't help. Yeah, but I don't think it's like a I think it's more kind of like a nervous whatever grin. I don't think she's trying to be super condescending. I don't think so. That's not what it feels like. But there are times when she probably is, of course, but I don't think she's trying to be here. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Because I was literally gonna bring that up. The mukbangs and like all those videos that just come up to trends.
Not only the mukbangs, but also like Lizzo and other big like media.
I don't think I agree with that because Lizzo has been an example of not that we're celebrating that she has excess weight. We're celebrating the fact that she's not allowing people who are being negative to her about her weight and still succeeding. So we're celebrating her success, not the fact that she's potentially carrying excess weight.
She's dressing extremely scantily clad and then saying if you don't think that it's normal for a morbidly obese person to be wearing a G-string in the middle of public, then you're the problem. And they're trying to normalize society to this obese culture, which is extremely unhealthy.
You do need to normalize it to some degree, and I'll explain why. We're here. We're not going back. And there's a significant population in the United States that does fall under the umbrella of obesity. You can't neglect that population. You can't be destructive to them and say that anyone who is overweight should not be showing their bodies, should be hiding themselves because they're not a good example role model. That is ineffective, and that is what fat shaming is. So instead, we need to celebrate people for who they are, celebrate people for the actions they take. If they serve as good role models, celebrate those people as humans and respect them as humans. And at the same time, we can give them access to potentially lose weight, to make other changes in their lives that have nothing to do with weight that can make them healthier. But at the end of the day, like, you can't judge someone for choosing to wear a certain thing because you don't vibe with one part of their health journey. Again, it's one part of their health journey.
What is an obese culture?
A culture which like normalizes
I'm obese
obesity.
and I haven't even heard that.
Well, obesity is already normal, so.
The strongest argument against this is like our obesity in terms of beauty standards never normalized obesity. Our culture, yeah. Well, like it was never that all Hollywood people, all singers, like obesity didn't come from it being glorified in Hollywood. We all got obese, and then finally some people were like, okay, well, fuck, I guess we're gonna have some like obese, singers and obese fucking like TV people now, right? Like, yeah. So the idea that like just bullying it or not normalizing it is supposed to be effective, like clearly that had zero impact, or doesn't seem to have had any impact. I don't think it slowed down us becoming obese at all. So it's yeah, it's kind of weird that. I think that's the weakest part of Lauren's argument here. And all the arguments are like, we can't normalize it. Like, motherfucker, we're like 60% fucking obese. What do you mean we can't normalize it? Like, it's normal, my dude. Obesity percentage USA. It might not be 60%. Sorry, 40% are obese. I think it's around 70% are overweight.
Have you got a screw loose? Or is it your animal intuition?
I don't think it should be.
The problem is, when she says it shouldn't be normalized, what you're doing is fat shaming. You're telling people that they're abnormal. No matter if you have good intentions with that statement, if you want people to be healthy, that's not a valuable thing to say to the general public. The way it needs to be done is with them coming to a conclusion of, I need to be healthier, I choose to be healthier, and then society, the medical industry, helping them reach their goals. But to say that they're not normal, you're not going to make positive change by doing that.
Diet culture has positive
Did you see Zerga defending you? No, wait, link me that though. I'd be super curious.
effects.
Diet culture is about turning the word diet from your overall eating into an activity that takes place over a period of time. A diet should not be something you do from January until May of next year.
Yeah, what you eat should be part
That
of
is the absolute fucking smartest thing. Okay, that is absolutely true. People see diets as like things to suffer through. There are so many good things to eat. There are so many cool foods to explore. There are so many ways that you can have like a fun, varied, delicious diet that doesn't have to be like pain and suffering, right? Like the journey from like healthy dieting or from unhealthy dieting to healthy dieting doesn't have to be like, oh, it's salad day again. I can only eat iceberg mixed with romaine lettuce with some celery, carrots, and tomatoes and no fucking, no sauce whatsoever. Like you can have like you have to be like lifestyle changes that you can incorporate that are fun for your entire life. Not like, yeah, here I am to suffer. This is why personally, I don't even know where the research is, or I don't know what my lifter flows. This is why I hate the idea of like a cheat day for diet. Like, why is your food so agonizing and horrible? You have to like cheat day for it. Like just like make slightly better choices, or way better choices.
Lifestyle as opposed to the activity you're doing right now. I have to point out here, the research that we have of carrying excess weight, specifically excess fat, shows that it shortens life, it increases risk of disease. The disease is not just limited to our heart and our brains, it affects all our organs, our performance, our quality of life, our chances for independence as we age, even our fertility, cancer risk, all of those things. So we absolutely need to approach it from a societal level, a medical level, all of the above. It's not a one-size-fits-all answer. And whether or not obesity is a choice is not as simple as saying yes and no. It needs to be individualized to the person sitting in front of you. And the strategies to help that person are going to be different than the strategies that maybe help another person, or the strategies that we discussed on a systemic level. And I think all of those things need to be taken into consideration. We shouldn't just seek systemic change and forget about the medical perspective. We need to do both. We shouldn't just focus on the population-based changes and forget about the individual strategies. We need to be able to do both. That's why, at the end of the day, having a good long-term relationship with a primary care doctor will go a long way to improving health outcomes. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. And the idea that the medical society is fraught with bias and all that is true, and that carrying excess weight is still unhealthy is also true, and we need to be able to accept both of those as realities and make changes we see fit. Let's watch a middle ground on back.
That's such a boring answer, unfortunately. Like nobody wants to hear that, but like it's probably true for most things. Right? We have to like incorporate a lot of different things from like the spectrum, and we want to make like the best decisions moving forward. But,
He
like, people
attacks
usually just,
faster
no,
than
actually,
a fucking healing potion. God damn it, man.
Almost gotten through everything, guys. You guys are doing so good.
All right, we're taking a break.
Who else is babysitting us today? Oh wait, finish this.
Vaccines, and hear my thoughts on that. Click here to check it out, and as always, stay healthy and happy. Happy and healthy. But that both work.
Actually, I'm gonna hit the gym.
Here,
It's gonna be a gym day.
the video.
So,
What?
yeah.
What the fuck?
Probably be back at like 8 or 9. Peace and love.